Looks like I was muted. Man, I should definitely learn how to use that mute button. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the fall split for the Queso Cup. Latin America region today is going to be a great one. I'm really pumped for it. Look at this lineup on the day. Miniminter versus Lauta. Some great matches in here. Samuel versus Miniminter. Lucas versus Wallace. Ooh, boy. Pedro back in the building up against Bassotto. Some heat from Bansito. I'm sure you might see some of that today. Of course, not from the same salty matchup he had a couple of weeks ago. Maybe that was last week? Was that recent? Lucas all over the place. xAlee, Mao, Kodigo, Devick, Framsito. It's going to be a great one today, and I know I'm super pumped to be here with you guys. Hello and welcome. And yes, the mic is now unmuted as far as I'm aware. I believe that my mic's working now. Yes, there we go. And I'm really pumped to have you guys here with me. It's going to be a whole lot of fun today in the Queso Cup. Filling in today, this was supposed to be on Eric Benamu's channel. Eric's taking a day. His voice is still recovering, so here I am with you guys on both Twitch and YouTube, double streaming just for you guys, and it's going to be a blast. Let me take a look at the chat here for a moment. Yes, most of it is about how my mic was muted when things started off, which, you know what, we've been there. We've all been there. We've all had the muted mic to start off. Really? Have we all, Rich? Is it just you who does it all the time? It might be just me, but you know what? Totally okay. But I'm excited that you guys are here to join us. Hey, good watch for lunch. That's right. It's lunchtime for some of you. 12:30 here in Texas where I am. And, of course, it might be different times all over the world. From what I've been told, that's how time works. So if you're on the East Coast, it might be 1:30. It might still be morning brunch time over if you're in California, Washington, Oregon. And if you're in Europe, you might be kind of getting ready to have some dinner, maybe even bed down on the eastern side of it. If you're in Asia, why are you awake right now? It's the middle of the night. I know if you're in Bangladesh, it's, I think, right about 12:30 midnight at the moment. But you know what? You might be a late night person, so glad to have you here. I don't know when the matches are starting. We're supposed to be kicking off our matches here in just a moment, so as soon as we have gameplay, you'll have gameplay. That's the plan. J-Man saying Lucas is the #1 seed in this monthly final, has a chance to be a three-peat monthly finals champion. That's insane. Yes, he does. This weekend's going to be really, really fun in Clash Royale League, and of course, going from there into October, where we'll have our last chance qualifiers, and then World Finals in December. So it's going to be a pretty good run up through December for Clash Royale. And let's see, we here in Asia, let's see. It's 2:33 in Japan, says Ugra. Just waiting for you, Rich. Oh, thank you so much. I love having, someone else. 2 people from Japan watching. LOL, it's 2:30 a.m. So everyone, no matter where you're watching from, super excited to have you guys here. And let's go ahead and jump into our first matchup of the day. And whoa, we kick things off with a banger. Miniminter and Samuel Bassotto. Let's go. This is the kind of matchup I know you all want to see. Let me go ahead and turn the game volume up just a little bit for you guys. And that should be a little bit nicer. A nice easy King Tower activation for Miniminter. Expect to see a Magic Archer in that deck as well. And Royal Hogs for Samuel. Going very Fireball bait is the Brazilian in this matchup. Same with Bassotto, of course, getting ready for CRO World Finals. Does not need to worry about any more qualifying action for him on this one. So opening blows don't really land here for Samuel. Little touch for Miniminter, left-hand side. Now going to be down to 22-27, a little bit lower than that one. And I like this from Miniminter going early with minor variation, recognizing that he's not against a NATO deck of any kind. Might as well go early. A lot of players really wait maybe a little bit too long to start varying their minor placement, even though they've made that evaluation, even though it's pretty clear they're not against a NATO deck. So nice early recognition there by Miniminter to get the damage on tower. And that's a lot on the board here. Oh, boy. Miner comes out on defense. That's going to get absorbed. And just like that, that's going to be pretty much tower down here. Mini just has to reset. And even the NATO, not worth it. Miniminter overspends on the defense there and gets absolutely shellacked. And I see that LATAC is ignoring his comparative religion class, which I've always said if there's one thing that's not important, it's education. So thanks for being here. And if someone is, if I do see a couple of mods over on Twitch, if you guys can get the predictions going, go ahead and get it done, please. Yash Varden checking in on how it feels not to be streaming at ridiculously early in the morning. It does feel a whole lot better to be here at a totally normal time of day, as opposed to before it's even light outside. Kiribot for life saying, watching from Sweden. Wow, we are international today. Will there be more monthly qualifiers next year? I don't know what the plans are for CRL in 2022. I'm expecting it to be similar to what we did this year, but, you know, we don't know. We'll find out when you do. Or we'll find out a little bit before you do, but just no word yet on exactly what 2022 looks like for Clash Royale. Eric is, and just to answer this question, Eric, okay, now Eric is still recovering from the throat voice issues he's been having, so that's why I'm stepping in today to help out my buddy and cover some of the action for him. Oh, I need to try to see, check this out, right? So you see that they did this today. So I'm going to try to do here is, let me see if I can actually make this work. Give me a second here, folks, because I can see, you know, I'm going to go ahead and come back here. But I'm going to put that in studio mode, and I'm going to see if I can take the overlay that we have. Let me go ahead and copy our overlay, because that would be very cool if I could be on that screen, and that way we are able to have the, what's that? We'll have the results there. Okay, so that gives me that, and then we'll go ahead. Oh, you know what? I'm going to move that up a little bit. All right, I know this is not the most exciting way to do this portion of it, but I am trying to see if I can improve what we're looking at just the tiniest bit here. And that way I'll be able to give us the look for in between games while we're actually able to actually see the score in between games. So this might be a bit of an improvement. Hold on, folks. Almost there. Almost there. Come on, baby, hold together. Come on, baby, hold together. What's that reference from, guys? Anybody know? Come on, baby, hold together. And let's see if this works. Hold on, let's go ahead and check this out. And boom. What's that like? Oh, yeah, but you know what? This is the clean feed, though, so I don't want to do this. Okay. Well, let me get myself out of the way here and put us back there. We will not be doing that from now on. I just realized why that was a bad idea. I have to do a second setup, and maybe I'll get it going. We'll see what happens if I decide to do that second setup. But for now, we're going to stick right here with our action. Will there be Lapakati in this tournament? I believe he's in the EMEA region. When did Miniminter join Tribe? He's been with Tribe, I think, for most of the 2021 season. And pretty much a reverse here. We had it almost like they copied deck and just flip-flopped. We'll see if it is an exact reversal. And then if Samuel can win with the matchup that Miniminter couldn't. This is actually fascinating. I love seeing something like this. I think it's really cool when we see something like this where they go back and forth and we get to see the exact same matchup from the other direction. And as you can see, already out the gate, Samuel with a much better situation than Miniminter found himself in. And is that the good game or the well played? I really need to know those by now. Giving a shout out to all the people in Nepal, all the Nepali people, everyone in Nepal who's watching right now. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And this is a nice split lane pressure here from Samuel. And I think Mini's just going to roll over and end the game here. Wow. I think Mini's just going to roll over and end it. Where does Eric cast these tournaments? When Eric casts, he casts on Twitch, but he's not casting today because he's still letting his voice recover. Buena partida means good game. That's good game. Okay. Not well played. Bien jugado is well played, right? Oh. Miniminter, don't you worry. You will be seeing him in CRL World Finals, but man, that matchup not going well. Hey, Chazmac in the building. over on Twitch. CMG certainly having a good showing in Clash Royale. Kind of obviously came out of nowhere, gobbled up all the players, and now CMG is going to be highly represented during Clash Royale League World Finals, and of course everywhere in Clash Royale competition. And now Mini's back. Mini, did he DC? Is that what happened? Did Mini DC? Because now he's actually playing. I am very confused with what just happened. It looked like Miniminter was just giving up, and then now he's back going again. I'm a little bit confused by that one, but okay. But all right. GG, well played. Victory here for Samuel Bassotto. What is LATAM, says Spar 10 Saints. Latin America. Latin, Am, America. LATAM. That's the region that we're competing in for this one. We have 4 different regions in this competition. Oh, let's go take a look at the results so far and the schedule for the day. We have multiple different regions. We have 4 regions for this competition. We have the North America, Central America region. We have the Latin America region. We have EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And we have the APAC region, which is Asia Pacific Islands. So there you go. Those are the 4 regions. And buena partida does mean good game, and bien jugado means well played. I think I'll probably pronounce bien jugado like I was Brazilian as opposed to a Spanish speaker. But there we go. First match of the day. Pretty solid performance here by Samuel Bassotto. A crushing performance, if you will. And out with a nice win here. I think we should get standings here at some point in the next couple of minutes. What are the tournament standings, says HM Clash Royale. I don't know, but we should get them fairly soon. And once we have those, of course, they'll be on screen. You'll see them, etc., etc. It'll be very nice. Oh, it's so nice to be in the middle of the day and not be totally exhausted here with you guys, as opposed to the super duper early morning stuff that we've been doing. Let's go ahead and jump into our next match. It's going to be Wallace versus Lucas. Man, they are giving us the bangers early on. That's a whole lot of fun. Right out the gate, we are into 2 of the biggest matchups of the day. And I'll go ahead and throw this one back up here on channel again. Hi, Sir Rao saying LucasXGamer is a god. He certainly is playing S tier this year. No questions about it. Certainly playing at the level where, you thought he'd be playing as a solo player in CRL. And now that we're in duels, I wonder if that's the factor. I wonder if it's a work change factor. Maybe just him adjusting to competitive play as opposed to being a real ladder hog guy. Either way, he is playing at the level everyone expected he'd be in CRL 2020 in that fall split. Prediction is up, I believe, for Wallace versus Lucas, and it's almost closed, guys, if you're on Twitch. J-Man asking, who's your prediction to win the entire World Finals? I mean, it's such a hard thing to predict because it's going to be such a massive event. Obviously, if you're betting against Mohamed Light, it's not so who you... here's the thing. I don't think you can predict who will win World Finals, but I think you give people, percentage chances. And I'd say that of all the people who have the highest percentage chances, Mo has the highest likelihood of winning. Cannon cart cycles up to the left-hand side for Wallace. We'll see when he does choose to pull out the graveyard. Snowball and Fireball with GY. So pretty much count out the idea of him running Balloon at some point today. Unless he's running some variation of Lava Loon. But the Inferno Dragon also takes that off the board in this match. And unable to really break through into any meaningful way to get the graveyard in. But I think mostly at this point, Wallace is focused on winning bridge fights and not giving up too much damage. We'll see. Oh, he does pull the graveyard here. And the cannon cart does get into range. Snowball to move the guards around. Guards are looking so nice right now. Guards are looking so nice right now. I think we're going to see more and more of them as time goes on. Lots of Fireball value there. but damage done either way. Lucas up by a ton. 10:07 on the left-hand side for Wallace. Looks like just about nobody is picking Wallace in this one, and he's really good, but he is up against, right now, one of the top 3 players in the world. Easily defended on that graveyard. I mean, look, guards, arrows already is really going to be rough for a graveyard deck. You add in the skeleton dragons, and this is also a difficult deck for Wallace to defend. He's had some fireball value opportunities, but it hasn't turned into what he's wanted. And now, Lucas played this entire match pretty much without Lava. And this is what I actually like about Lava Minor when played well. You know, we're so used to Lava first play, and Lucas would have been hilarious if Lucas went Lava first play. Chose not to. And instead, Lucas is first Lava late in the match and really dominant. Minor to the front here. Knight does pick up just in time. At this point for Lucas, it's just play defense, throw the occasional offensive Minor. He might Lava up, but it seemed like that would be a big overcommitment against Graveyard right now. And that's a huge push on the right-hand side, but again, the difficulty, just no way to really get through to the second level here. Wallace did find his magic at CRL World Finals last year against Nova Esports, where he won 7 games and straight up carried his team to a top 4 World Finals berth in that match against Nova Esports. And that's going to be GG well played. Lucas takes game number 1. And a lot of CMG banners popping up in the Twitch chat. Yeah, they have this thing. I need to figure out how to set this up. I'm going to try to see if I can figure this out, because they do have it set up where I can do another scene like that. Oh, maybe that could work. Hold on, folks. Let me go ahead and try this. Clean feed with Cam. I'm going to go ahead and try to do this and set myself up a way that I can do... let me throw that on there. Let me throw that on there. And let me go ahead, by the way, while I'm still here, let me put the music back on when we're here, because I realize that they're not giving us music. And there we go. Trying to set this up so that I can do this version. Let me transition right over here. And then you can get a moment to see all the stat stuff. So there you go. I think that all these things should work. Let me see. Let me just make sure everything is actually working. Oh yeah, I need to reset so many things for this version setup. But there's the actual standings at the moment. I'm going to do a little bit more cleanup here to get this version of it working, but you can't actually see where we are right now. But let's go back to my standard setup. Maybe I'll set that up for next time rather than worry about it today. Since we're already here, we're already streaming. Timothy J. Whartonby. Wow, you went with your full legal name on your letterhead. Well, Timothy J. Whartonby, I'm doing well. How are you? Glad to have you. Malin Cholera saying, Rich, you make these games so interesting. Thanks for streaming. Love from India. Love to India. Much respect. I appreciate it. I love that today we've seen Sweden, Nepal, India, Nepal specifically. We've seen Japan, of course, lots of people in the U.S. We've seen people from all over. That's one of the things I really love about doing this, is we get people from literally around the world all coming together and doing some Clash Royale stuff, which is really, really fun and really cool and very exciting. I'm good, bro. You said my name perfect. Well, Timothy J. Whartonby. When you put it all out there like that, I feel like you'd represent, there should be an Esquire at the end of the Timothy J. Whartonby. Timothy J. Whartonby, Esquire. I'm from the Isle of Wight. This is Almost Haunted. Let's see. Rich, do you know when Worlds is? I do. In December. Love from the Netherlands, says Nuno van Berkem. A lot of people are, oh, yo, I'm Dutch. Well, that's the same, right? A lot of love from Israel, says Downey. Greetings from Belgium. Let's go ahead and jump in. Rich, do you watch the Champions League? Not really, although I did watch watch some highlights from Cristiano's re-debut for Manchester United, his homecoming. 2 goals in his opening. That's pretty cool. From Finland, from Belgium. I'm seeing Israel here. The Czech Republic. More love from India. Poland to the list. I'm of Polish descent, half Polish. Australia. Germany. Man, people, South Africa. We international in this one. Let's go. So Lucas running the 2.6 Royal Hog cycle. And up against minor wall breakers. Certainly going to like that matchup better than what we've seen 2.6 run into. Right, we saw that in with APEC. We saw 2.6 Royal Hog cycle into Mega Knight, which is brutal. You see some grease here, some Bhutan, and boring Chuck from the U.S. Boring. And that delivery, so this is interesting. So it is delivery Valk up against Royal Hog 2.6. Very curious to see how Lucas contends with that. Does get the King Tower activation, which will help against the miners. Not much against the wall breakers. Add Pakistan to the list. Greece and Pakistan. Loving it. So Wallace does take the lead finally, 1805 to 1997. 1997, the year I saw my first concert, it was 311 Sugar Ray at the Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento, California. This is when Sugar Ray was still a punk band. And 311 was still making like rock music and not like weird, trippy music. Great mosh pit at 311 Sugar Ray. And Chazmak from Chazmakistan. That makes sense. Miner into the right-hand side. Still going to the safe spot. I'm kind of surprised that Wallace is going to the safe spot here continually, even though he knows he's not against NATO. Add Bangladesh to the list. Is Boss playing today? Boss will not be playing today. Boss is in the... I don't even think he's actually in the competition. Is he in the NA region? Or is it Bag? Oh, King was already activated. That was my mistake. King was already activated. Even then, though, I still think that you go to other spots, right? Like, I'd rather get 2 shots in from a miner because I actually get on tower than get picked up and get none. Crazy Holly Maniac, how are you? Very well. 11-12 on the right-hand tower of Wallace, to the lead currently for Lucas. And I guess not having a good pickup there, so he goes Fishboy in the back, does Lucas. 965. So Wallace in the lead, but not by a ton. Hoa's first concert was Lil Pump right here in Houston, Texas. And Sajal coming in from India with, that looks like 20 euros. Woo, craziness. See if it went to a good cause. Love your casting, by the way. Well, I do certainly appreciate it and appreciate your good heart. 5-12, look at this. Lucas back in the lead. EQ minor cycle right now for Wallace, trying to get things taken care of. 425 to 449, very close EQ cycle on both sides now. This might come down very much to the wire here. Lucas does have the better position as far as the EQ cycles go. Wallace needs to get a minor on tower and get some more EQ in. He does go to the front one more time. The EQ takes off the Skellies. That's absolutely huge. Wallbreaker's trying to sneak on through. Hunter does get the Wallbreakers, though. EQ now down for Lucas, but Wallace does have the advantage here. Wallace goes for the minor on the outside. It does not get picked up. GG, well played. Wallace wins by 101 HP and ties things up here. We're going to game number 3. Let's go with that one. Super duper fun. Let's see. Chuck Wagon, my first concert was Hootie and the Blowfish. I heard people throwing marshmallows. I mean, my first, that 311 Sugar Ray was the first concert I went to, like, on my own, right? I was 1997. I think that was, I don't remember if that was spring of 97 or fall of 97. But I was like 7th, 8th grade around that time. I was like 13-ish years old. And that was the first concert I went to where like I didn't go with parents and stuff, right? Because I think I saw like Weird Al before that and some other like kid stuff. But that was the first time that I like bought a ticket, went to a concert. My friends and I all went. It was super fun. It was super duper fun. Let's see. What was like, if you're in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch, what was your first concert? The first time that you went to see someone perform live without like your parents, like it was just you. You're a teenager. You and your friends go. You're super excited. Like you probably had their poster on your wall, that sort of stuff. What was the first one you went to see? Go ahead and tell me in the chat right now. Hootie is hilarious though. That's a great call. Dimmu Borgir and Cradle of Filth. Box of Demons. You know what? Honestly, the Cradle of Filth does match your name being Box of Demons. So there you go. Ho-Hoon was born in 1997. Yeah, I was. I already had my first girlfriend by 1997. There you go. Chazmac, Def Leppard, and Ugly Kid Joe were Chazmac's first concerts. Jonathan Lewis saying, I hate concerts. I don't even know what to do with that. I don't know how to process that information. Let's see. Pincha Yason saying Cranberries in 95 at the Astro Arena. Whoa. Cranberries is a great one. I'm Pasta Gaming. Kiss with the Girlfriend, not my kind of music, but a great show. Yeah, I've heard that Kiss. I mean, Kiss obviously has some like very for its time pop rock, but I've heard that their actual shows are amazing. They're good showmen. Clash Royale 2018, Led Zeppelin. How are you Clash Royale 2018, but your first show was Led Zeppelin? My audience does skew a certain direction. Swag Muffin, Goo Goo Dolls. Wow. What an interesting choice. That's a really interesting. Goo Goo Dolls is a really interesting choice. They had that big song in like the late 90s that was in the movie City of Angels with Nicolas Cage. Weezer, Summer of '01, first concert, cold open. You cold open for Weezer? No, let's see. Man, I've done a lot of cold open shows. I envy musicians because I cold opened a lot as a comic, and cold opens can be brutal. I did a lot of them at the Comedy Store, obviously, which was fine, which was fun. That was easy. But I cold open on the road a bunch at like casino shows. Ugh, that was brutal. Let's see. How many matches today? A whole lot. We're still waiting for our next one. When drops the live of CRL usually? Around 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern on Saturdays and Sundays. And here we go, into game number 3 finally. For me, it was in Moscow watching Russian music stars with my girlfriend sitting on my shoulders. I was 17. Super fun. Muse is a good one. Some fun ones here. Isle of Wight Festival for Almost Haunted, Muse, Snow Patrol, REM. A lot of fun ones here, guys. And now we're back into the action, tied up 1-1. Already saw minor wall breakers from Wallace. Looking like GY here for Lucas. And Cannon Cart plus Mortar are going to be hard for Wallace to break past. Mortar great against the Royal Giant. But keep with the Bar Barrel. Interesting here to see Bar Barrel. I mean, it's because it is better for Graveyard. Obviously, Log would be much better against Royal Giant than Bar Barrel. Yes, Iris is the name of the song by the Goo Goo Dolls from the Nick Cage movie. Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan, City of Angels. And the big question here is Lucas running Fireball? He already used Earthquake, Snowball, Arrows, and Delivery. And if he is running GY here against that Mother Witch, going to really want a Fireball. Wallace still running Fire Spirit. Fire Spirit still does plenty of damage, and if you're not expecting to be against bait, because Fire Spirit not as strong against bait as it once was, still fine if you do the push move to get all 3 together, but not as good against bait as it once was. Fire Spirit still packs a pretty mean punch despite its reduced range. RATMCR's first concert was Rage Against the Machine in 1994. I saw Rage in 3 times. I saw them in '01 on the Battle Tour promoting that album. I saw them when they the first show back together at Coachella. I was in the pit for that one, and then I saw them again in LA alongside like Rise Against, And a bunch of other bands that were all like revolutionary style bands. Can't remember who they were though. Hoa saying I think Lucas runs Poison. Yeah, at this point probably. Although we haven't seen much Mother Witch, so we're gonna get the answer right here, because Lucas is gonna choose a side, and there you go. So it is Fireball. Fireball's still very popular with Graveyard. And it's part of that is making a choice of what you saw your opponent use already. Not having seen Mother Witch, Lucas made the right call here and went, hey, I'm probably going to see Mother Witch at some point. Let me make sure I shut that down. But so far, the lead, though it's slight, still is for Wallace with 2 minutes left here in double elixir time. And Wallace setting up very aggressively on that left-hand side. Log to take off the spears. Mega Minion trying to help here. Fishboy is going to go to the mortar. So that's good for him, but Fireball cleans things up. Lucas kind of shutting down this defense as you'd expect here. With mortar and a lot of single-target DPS, that's the big question. And, wow, there you go. The big question here on Lucas's side is, can he break through and actually get a tank through for the graveyarding? And that's going to be a tough question for him to answer. Trying to control the Mother Witch and not turn into piggies right now. Mortar working on its side. Cannon Cart going to hold on nicely. And is this where he pulls the trigger? No, it's not. Cannon Cart does go down. Bar Barrel through. Now he might go for it. Does he have enough for Fireball and Mother Witch? Mother Witch out, but Musketeer can't get across the board. He is just having so much trouble actually getting across the board here. Wallace in a good spot. Mortar has to go high, I think. No, he goes Mortar low because of the Mega Minion. Lightning in, but that Lightning actually helps overall keeping that RG off tower. And now Lucas is going to go left-hand side here with a full Graveyard Scent. Does have enough for Fireball if the Mother Witch comes in. Mother Witch plays very, very deep here. Log going to help clean up, but now, look at this. Lucas back in the lead with under 30 seconds left. Here we are, triple elixir. It's 1806 to 1587. RG pushing on the right-hand side. Fishboy trying to predict the mortar. And, man, this Red Royal Giant is getting absolutely shredded. Lightning trying to cycle on through, and it does hit the lead 1524 to 1587. Things are very, very tight, but Lucas can get Fireball down before Wallace can get to another Lightning. Wallace needs the Lightning here, and he does. Does the Skeleton get it? And, oh! A last-second Skeleton steals it for Lucas. RNG. Pray to the gods. 64 HP. Wallace thought he had it. One tiny Skeleton touches, and that's a GG. Well played. Lucas steals that win from his former teammate. Let's go. That's what's up. Man, I wish we had replay here today. And let's see if they're going to the results here. It's still scheduled, but no results. Man. What a crazy, crazy finish there. What an absolutely crazy finish. That Skeleton just barely touched. Unbelievable. Oh boy. Let me go ahead and see if I can find the full, if they have posted the full schedule for today. I'll go ahead and ask that right now in chat, see what else is coming up. And let's see. We're not even waiting. I'm coming back to me. We're not wasting time. Let's go. Lauta versus Mini. We are pumping these out. Orozo saying that Mother Witch at the end was a mistake, I think. Yeah, the only problem is the Fireball was definitely going to come in for the damage, and you have to try to convert some of those skellies. And the big one on top of that is there was no other way to get more damage on tower. Right? He only had Lightning for direct damage. Dweeputra saying I faced Moogie in Global Tournament today at 21 wins, got completely destroyed. Yeah. Well, that's Movie. That's Moogie. So there's the standings on the right-hand side. Samuel still undefeated 5-0. With Bansito and Wallace right behind him. Framsito, Surg TS, and Lucas all still in the top 6 at the moment. That certainly helped. Lucas would have been 2-3 rather than 3-2 if it were not for that one tiny Skeleton. Miniminter trying to battle his way back into the top 4. And I believe that Kass and Devak are open qualifier players. MVP goes to Little Larry, says Chazmac. That was a crazy ending. Miniminter Lava first plays, and now we'll get some more damage out of it. Spears late, they do not pick up the damage. And the arrows clean up all of that. Lauta just getting worked over on the right-hand side. People are still enjoying the matchup. Magic Paladin asking, why are the bottom 2 colored different? Because those will be relegated to, I don't know the exact 2 colors. I believe one of them is relegated, and then one of them is actually like eliminated from the tournament. I should actually get an explanation. Let me go ahead and ask. What do the colors on the standings mean? I just asked that. We'll see if they can give us some clarity on that one. And we're just about there to finish this one off. Miner does finish off the tower, and that's going to be a pretty easy win here for Miniminter in game number 1. Lauta just not able to find any way to actually outcycle, and up against Lava Hound with that deck, certainly going to be challenging no matter what. Oh, I want to ask colors in the standings on stream. That's what I'm asking for. Ooh, am I a little bit out of focus? Oh, there we go. Now we're back in focus. What's up? Hoahun with a prediction there. No, I think that there's a little bit more to it than that one. Rich speaks Spanish. I really don't speak Spanish. I mean, I have like a tiny. I have the amount of Spanish that you get if you grew up in California and never took Spanish classes. That's the amount of Spanish that I have. But other than that, no. My mom, I was debating between Spanish and French in high school, and in California, really should have taken Spanish. But my mom convinced me that French was the international language of business, so I took French, of which I also speak pretty much nothing. So there you go. Kaiser Soze, I mean, I understand that some of that standing thing, right? That 1, 2, 3 is gold, silver, bronze. 4, 5, 6 currently qualify. 7 and 12 got nothing. 13 and 14 says basically up. I don't know what that 13, 14 actually means. Anjazur saying rich speak Afrikaans. And what was that Afrikaan? What was that South African rap group that was really popular like 3 or 4 years ago? They had a bunch of they would mix in some Afrikaans with their English. SA7 Icewiz has the best spear. What do you think? I don't know, man. Lumberjack's pretty good too. Jonathan Lewis, English is the international language of business. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So Royal Hogs for Lauta. Looking like RG for Miniminter. Royal Ghost would be really interesting as a win condition. Would that be totally broken? If Royal Ghost was a win condition, as opposed to just being a support troop? What do you guys think about that? The invisibility, the floating mechanic. Hoa saying, my mom forced me to learn English when I was 10 in Vietnam. Thankful to her for this day. Yeah, I totally understand that. I wish I'd been forced to learn more languages, that's for sure. 1632 right-hand side for Lauta. Miniminter again doing a good job here. No building for Miniminter, so keep an eye on that one. Does have Fireball, good for the piggies, but the lack of a building. Antwoord, that was the name of the group out of South Africa. That one album was pretty cool. I used to watch a lot of their music videos back in the day. EQ cycling in here for Lauta. Poppy asking, do you love the 2.6 hog deck? I do not. It's fine. It's a good deck for learning, but I don't love it. Let's see, the top 6th. So here's how that ranking works, and we'll talk about it again when it comes up, but the top 6 all make playoffs, 7th all stay in the division. 13th is relegated, and 14th goes to Division 2. I don't know how that even works. Wait. I'm going to clarify something about 13th and 14th. RG into the right-hand side here for Mini. Hunter not available to pull. I mean, the Fisherman not available to pull, so Mini gets a couple shots there. Not enough DPS to stop that one. Akash knows 4 languages: Hindi, Sanskrit, English, and Chhattisgarhi, a regional language. Wow. I didn't know Sanskrit was still spoken. Is that totally ignorant of me? Or do you just know how to read it? RG with 1 shot. RG not going to get 2 shots, 472 on the right-hand side. They should have giant ghost card invisible but target buildings. That would be nuts. Yeah. But yeah, the idea would be if Royal Ghost only went to targeted towers. That would be the idea if it were a win condition. 883 left-hand side. Lauta certainly is in this one. If he can defend this Royal Giant, which he might be able to with this Fish Boy. This Fish Boy does keep it off. And now splitting Pigs 2-2 here, putting pressure on both sides. Goes Heal Spirit to the right-hand side. A bit of a surprise with that one, but did have the Brawler, so wanted to support that one as well. And now, good danger in both sides here. Not quite in the lead is Lauta, but certainly threatening. 228, now 156, so it's just going to be getting back around to Fireball. Fireball not in cycle here for Mini. Can he beat out the Pigs? And he does. GG. Well played. Miniminter takes that one 2-0. GG for Mini with a nice win there. One second. And here's the lineup for the day. No scores on that one. In my opinion, what's the best legendary card right now? Ask Ira B Gaming. That's an interesting question. Magic Archer's pretty dominant right now. Magic Archer's pretty great right now. You're seeing it in a bunch of decks. People are really using it kind of very, very well as a secondary win condition. And someone said in Japan, how much does it have to know more than 500 alphabets? That's crazy. Why did Lauta keep cycling his fishermen's in the back? Jamanders. Jamandaris. That's a tough question. I think that he probably had a pretty rough cycle in those situations and was just trying to get what he needed back in his hand. But, yeah, that's always a tough one. He did get some good use out of it occasionally, but didn't get it enough. American ignorance. That's okay. About Sanskrit? I just always hear Sanskrit referred to as like a very ancient language. I never hear of it being referred to in like a modern context. So there you go. Best legendary card says the log, says one person. Yeah, maybe. I never think of the log as a legendary, even though it is, right? It's like such a staple of the game overall. Someone saying Miner's the best leggy. I don't know. I don't know if Miner has that position anymore. What if E-Barbs only targeted towers? That'd be weird. Interesting, but weird. I mean, they practically do now, right? You know what I mean? Alpha Moriarty, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you in here. Graveyard, best legendary, says Akash. I don't think so. Graveyard's pretty mediocre right now. So there you go. Oh, you know what? They're still leaving music. The way they're doing the sound is a little bit different today. How can I type messages that appear on the top? When I click on your message. There you go. They only appear on the top if I choose them. So, yeah, not just everything appears here. So I guess you guys would be like all profanities and slurs, and then someone, yeah, you know what I mean. Not you. You're a good person, but the other person. You know the person I'm talking about. Let's see. Vlad saying, I've been watching since you started broadcasting for Clash. Great to see your progress and now your skills improve as a caster. Great job, man. Oh, thank you. Rich, did you play Ultimate Frisbee in college? Notice you used some of the lingo. Yeah, I played Ultimate. I played a couple years of B at UCSB's Black Tide. Played 1 year at University of Edinburgh with Rochambeau. And then I've coached some Youth Ultimate. I'm a season ticket holder. I was a season ticket holder to LA's the Aviators. I'm going to get season tickets to Austin Soul now that I live here in Texas. But yeah, long-time Ultimate Frisbee. In fact, this, here you go. This is one of the weird things on my, you can't see it on my shelf, it's down here today. But this is the Junior Ultimate State Tournament in California. So that was a high school Ultimate Frisbee tournament that I actually was one of the organizers of and that we played in when I was in high school. So I've been playing Ultimate my whole life. Since I was like 9 years old. Big fan of the sport. NATO and Magic Archer shouldn't be allowed on the same deck, says Kaiser Soze. I disagree. FYI, your camera stand has a little bit of wiggle on it. Yeah, my camera is actually attached to my table because this kind of camera I use in order to get dummy power to it. I have to do a whole thing. And also, if you notice, I'll do this really quickly. My stand is all set up so that I can change from sitting to standing with this desk. Right, I'm adjusting the desk right now, and the camera's attached to that, so I don't have to change the camera, not to adjust the tripod whenever I go from sitting to standing. So, yeah, if I touch the table too much, yeah, boom, 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 you can see it'll bounce when I touch the table too much. But I try not to do it too much. But it's harder now when we have the this stuff going on. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings, and let me explain these standings for a moment. Here's how they work. So Samuel, Bansito, and Wallace currently in the top 3. They've all medaled. I believe that's they get part of the prize pool for this phase. Framsito, Surg TS, and Miniminter, the 4, 5, and 6, qualify to the regional playoffs. 7 through 12 are kind of just, they're still in the competition. They stay in the Queso Cup for the next edition, but they don't get any prizes or move on right now. So here's how 13th and 14th works. 14th place is automatically relegated to Division 2 for this competition. There is a second division for this competition. 13th has to go to a relegation playoff where they play the top 2 players from Division 2 for one of the spots in the Queso Cup. So that's how this one works. So 13th is like kind of in trouble, but 14th is automatically down to Section 2. Roman Viking saying Rich rocking the Valhallas. Nice call there, bud. How do I get CR merch? There's giveaways now, but they don't actually sell it anymore. There you go. Let's see. Tenjoy saying, same here, played high school, college, and coached a club team later. Oh, very cool. What club team did you coach, and where did you play in college? That's pretty neat. Surgical Goblin or Jason? Like Jason the Killer from the movies? Is that who you're talking about, Jason? What are my thoughts about the best new Mega Knight deck? I don't even know what that means. What is the best new Mega Knight deck? Tried Ram Rider Cycle. I don't know how to use guards. Not even sure if it's meta anymore. Yeah, Ram Rider Cycle is interesting right now. Rich been winning, that's right. Why did my music stop? Was this the end of the song? Oh, it's just the end of the song. Have I casted with Powerbang? No, I have not. We worked together, but I've never cast with him before. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's matches schedule. Hey, Rich, what do you think if Bomber can plant landmines? I think landmines are very strange. Yassine Arfat, is this an open competition? There are some qualities to qualify in through the second division, but it's not just open. 12th to 7th have no chance of advancing. Well, they do now. They still have a chance. We're not done with the competition yet, but if we ended the group stage today, they would not move on. That's what's happening. Let's see. Rich, Fire, Ice, or Electro Spirit. Yes, I left out Heal. No one uses that boy. Depends on the deck. I was running Fire Spirit in my main deck right now. I switched it out for Ice for some more control. Just depends on the deck, though. What do you think about the thing that the next update is going to be big focus on endgame players? I think that's really important because there's been nothing for endgame players for a while. That's going to be a great thing for endgame players and the game overall. Here we go. Next matchup, Wallace and Bansito. I think that's going to be great, though. No, Beast. To answer this question, odd. Last place automatically gets in second, but second to last has to play in to get in. No. So what happens is last place is automatically relegated to second division 13th place is not automatically relegated. 13th place has to play against the top players from second division to try to keep their current position in the first division. So that's how it works. And Kaiser Soze, it's not, so 7 and 12 do not go straight out. So guys, here's how it works. 7 through 12, 1 through 6 qualify for the playoffs. 7 through 12 remain in Division 1 for the next season. 13th has to compete for their spot in Division 1, and 14th is immediately knocked down to Division 2. That's how the standings work. Sasha says, good night, it's midnight in Bangladesh. Yeah, I totally understand. Do I think that Golden Ducks without Night Witch as a double prince and Cannon Cart will increase popularity? Maybe. Not entirely sure, though. Played college at George Mason. Coached a Rebellion that was top 25 in the nation at one time. Nice. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Give me one moment, please. Just checking on something. All right. Be back with you guys for 1 second. Oh, that's tower down here. Wallace just running right through Bansito. Bomb tower, I don't know. I can't say if I believe bomb tower is back. That reduction in bomb damage still makes bomb tower kind of weak. People are playing it more than they were, but still not so great. In my humble opinion, which is also probably the right one, though. One second, just communicating something. Ah, man. Typos. There we go. Graveyard in for Bansito. Guards will take care of it. Fireball goes to misses the flying machine. Man, Bansito is just all over the place right now. But not much you can do at this point anyway. Arrows went in early. Rough matchup overall. You feel like Fireball Arrows might be able to do it, but honestly, Bomb Tower, dude. Bomb Tower just isn't it these days, guys. It's just not it. Wallace goes ahead and gets game number 1. Hey, Hippie-Wan Kenobi in the building. Haven't seen you in a while, Hippie-Wan. Good to see you. Yeah, people are talking about bomb. People are trying to get make Bomb Tower happen again, but I just don't think it is. Bomb Tower is just not back. And the challenge with Bomb Tower is that lack of death, that death bomb damage being reduced so much. The fact that it can't target air at all makes it so that Bomb Tower now, the death bomb, when combined with NATO, made the Bomb Tower able to contend with air. Even without NATO, it made it able to contend more. But now that the death bomb is so much reduced, Bomb Tower just is useless against air decks in general. Pretty rough for them. Pretty rough for Bomb Tower overall. And it makes, even though it makes Bomb Tower no longer as dominant, which was good because Bomb Tower was everything and everywhere, it also does make Bomb Tower much more matchup dependent. So that's one of the challenges of Bomb Tower as well. People are still using Lava Hound? Yeah, it's just whatever the meta is. But there you go. Guards are back in the meta. Finally, I can use them in my Lava Hound deck. Yeah, guards are definitely back in with Lava, that's for sure. I've been messing around on my mini with the old, that old RG Furnace deck from 2019. That's what I've been maxing. That's what I've always been trying to push on my mini. I focus every mini account that I have. I focus on one archetype or deck in particular. So that's what I've put my focus with my main mini account, and I'm switching that one from the Lumberjack variation to the Guards variation because Guards are so strong right now. So there you go. Let's go into game number 2 here. Wallace with match point advantage. If Bansito ran Inferno Tower last game, would have gone better for him. Yeah, probably. Against Inferno, against Lava Hound, probably. Give Bomber small death damage. That's been debated a lot. People don't like it. I think that Bomber had its 3-month meta. Yo, Rich, on the standings, does it mean you can qualify to finals from 13th? On the standings for this event, no, that's not how it works. 1 through 6, once we're done with the group stage, 1 through 6 we move on to playoffs. Everyone else is out of the competition for this split. 7 through 12 remain in Division 1 for next season. 13th has to compete for their spot in Division 1 next season, and 14th is automatically relegated to Division 2. That's how it goes. Master Bruce saying Morton can make Bomb Tower work. Yeah, he's Morton, I'm not. So this should be interesting. Bansito should have the matchup here with both Mortar, Log, and some good single-target DPS. We'll see if he is able to get the play here against Wallace. What can replace Night Witch in my Golem deck? Oh boy. Replace the Golem with anything else, please. What's my favorite deck? Honestly, my favorite deck is the one that I'm still running, which is Goblin Drill Magic Archer NATO. So I've never, even now that it's nerfed, because I'll tell you right now, Goblin Drill is so much worse. It's so much worse with that one less Death Goblin. Even now, though, I think it's still the deck that I'm best with. Miner in, and so 5 elixir spend from Bansito and a 7 elixir spend in reverse from Wallace. So even though that doesn't get any damage, I think that does end up being nice for Wallace, for Bansito, as long as he can recover here and continue to try to find a bit of an advantage. If he can make that trade a couple of times, that's going to be good for Bansito. Your main account is maxed. A lot of it is maxed, not all of it, but I have most cards maxed. And so now Wallace changing directions here, going Royal Giant to the right-hand side with the E-Wiz in support. I think Wallace's big thing right now is to try to keep as much damage off tower as possible. If he can cycle Log to the left-hand side and keep chipping away at that left-hand tower, he's going to love doing that. And get ready to double RG push in triple elixir. Has to control this mortar, though. And he didn't get the... Oh, he did get the mortar control. But Miner does come in. And the second mortar shot... Oh, man. That's what Wallace cannot afford right now. He cannot afford giving up that last gasp mortar shot. Fireball doesn't get the mortar here for Wallace. In a lot of trouble, 1160. This is probably going to be GG. The game's not ending right now, but it's going to be so hard right now for Wallace to break through, especially if he keeps on having trouble with that mortar. Popping a high mortar this time. And he does. High mortars to the middle. Fishboy to control. That's a good log, but a good log in return. Royal Giant does not connect, but Bansito does not get chip damage. Miner going to go to the front this time. Skeletons do not get the predict correctly. And Wallace is trying to pressure with the RG. I think he needs to go ahead and set up for this double RG push. RG in the back, RG at the bridge. That log going to try to help, but Royal Giant not going to get... Oh, it does get one shot. 832 to 1006. And now he goes RG again. Well played from Bansito, who goes high with the mortar. Fishboy does go for the guards and not for the mortar, so that's actually really good for Bansito. Poison cycling. And this time goes low, defensive with the mortar. Going to cycle Log at the bridge, I think, if he can. Has to cycle Log low to keep the Royal Giant off tower, though. Does not get damage, 576. Miner goes into the outside. Poison with it. Good fisherman placement here by Wallace, though, to get the pickup. RG again, 14 seconds left. Mortar going to go in. Fireball goes to the Musketeer. Log to get on tower as well. Not enough cycle here. RG cannot break through. Bansito had the matchup, able to shut down the defense. There were a couple of points where maybe it was a little bit scary. But again, that's a well-played Bansito playing that correctly in that moment. Had a good matchup, but played it the way you're supposed to play it. So there we go. Game number 2 in the books, all tied up. Let's go take a look at some of the chat here. Master Bruce saying, I hate playing against Witch and Wizard all the time on ladder. Got to push up on ladder. I mean, I still encounter it in the 6Ks every once in a while, but nowhere near the way you do between 4 and 5K. Wallace is so clutch with E-Wiz, says Hoa. Beat Little Chen with the E-Wiz because the E-Wiz stunned the balloon. Yeah, E-Wiz versus balloon, certainly a nice defensive sort situation for against balloon. Is this RG deck the best variation for this meta? I'm not the one to ask that. It's definitely certainly popular. Malign saying new poison so cool. I do think that poison with the slow is definitely obviously that used to slow a long time ago, but slowed both attack and movement speed. I think this new poison though is in a pretty good spot overall. Hippie one saying so glad piglets are good again. Top 3 favorite win con of all time. Yeah, I think the buff might have been a bit much, but of course we'll see how that shakes out between now and CRL World Finals in December. Why do they do Goblin Drill like that, then buff Hogs? Shaking my head. Because Goblin Drill was too strong. Goblin Drill was certainly too strong. I think that they definitely made it look at the flowers with the removing of one death goblin. Goblin Drill is a hard card to balance, right? I think the appropriate balance might be to reduce the damage of the goblins as opposed to pull out one death goblin. Or what they should do now, actually, here's what I think they should do, is that now that they reduce one death goblin, they maybe should increase the damage of stab gobs. Maybe that's the way it should go. But it's a hard card to balance. Cards that are tied to other cards make balancing challenging because you have to take so many factors into account, right? Like, that's why it's hard to balance 3 Musketeers, because they're directly tied to Musketeers, and you make one too strong, you make the other one too weak. Hey, El Montro over on Twitch, thank you for the tier 1 sub, certainly appreciate it. And, man, I'm always, anytime someone donates or subs or whatever it is, it means a lot. So I really do appreciate that tremendously. All right, here we go, game number 2. Wallace might be going minor wall breakers again. No, they're going graveyard for Wallace, never mind. Donna Ari saying, nice glasses, dude. These are Gooders. They're my friends and now sponsors. But I've been wearing Gooders for years, and then we developed a relationship because I like them a lot, and now they're a sponsor, which is pretty cool. Pigs into the left-hand side. Mortar not in cycle is going to be some significant damage on that left-hand lane. And it's going to split Wallace's focus. Of course, now he could choose to GY one direction or the other. With both those on the board. I don't think he does it because it would take him to 0 here. Oh, he's playing pigs. Never mind. I'm silly. Playing pigs. Pigs both directions. But Mega Knight not available right now, so that's actually huge. And just like that, Wallace, getting back in the game here, takes the lead by 8 HP. I see 3 cards calls it correctly. Yeah, I thought that was going to be graveyard, and it turned out to be pigs. EQ right-hand side there for Wallace. Pig will snout twice, I think, and take the lead back here for the Argentinian. Bansito now up 1527 to 1596. Beast saying Hogs got buffed too much, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Drybone, this is actually the most real comment I've seen of the day. I hate when they nerf a deck that I'm good with, and if I change to a meta deck, I lose even more because I'm not good with it. Yep. That's me. When they nerfed Goblin Drill, I tried to switch over to some other decks and just, like, couldn't. It was immediate Tilt City, and now I'm back to making Drill work. And I'm back above. I think I'm above 6.1 again. Let me go ahead and check, actually. I thought I got back above 6.1. I could be wrong. And then, of course, I think I'll probably end up pushing more towards the 6.3 range rather than the 6.6 range. I don't think I can push to 6.6 with the deck in its current state. I'm 60-80 right now. Nivana saying, what did I miss? People played Clash Royale. There were some good matches, some good finishes, that's for sure. You can rewatch it on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, you can rewatch it on Twitch, but also you can rewatch it on YouTube, where these will all be available for review or new views later. Roman Viking saying, hey Rich, so because the cards are tied together, Mother Witch's Hogs got buffed? No, because those are not the same kind of Hogs. Mother Witch's pig spawns are not Royal Hogs. Notice that they don't wear helmets. Kaboom. I wonder if... I'm kind of surprised. Not super surprised. Maybe I go for it too much. But Wallace does have a King Tower activation against that Mega Knight with the Mortar Spear Gobs combination. I don't think there's a good reason to go for it now. But sometimes I'll continue sending Mega Knight to my King Tower just to control it. Mortar down. And that Flying Machine doing a lot of work here. Flying Machine proving to be a bit challenging for Wallace to deal with. Even with the Musketeer just not having a direct damage spell for it. That plays on the opposite side of the board. Delivery, again, only defensive spell. So that makes that Flying Machine kind of difficult to contend with. But it is Wallace with the lead right now, 10-74, but he's being forced into a full-on fight on the right-hand side. Spears come to the middle to control that Bandit. Nice work there out of Wallace. 30 seconds left, and Pigs come in on the left-hand side. Mortar going to have to go high here, and Mortar goes high to the left-hand lane rather than the right-hand lane. So not going to get any extra value offensively. Bandit does not get the tower here. Nice pickup out of Wallace, and a lot of pressure on the left-hand lane. The Heal Spirit does not get any damage on tower. Pigs trying to go in on the right-hand side. Wallace shuts down the defense. EQ will finish things off. Flying Machine, though. Can the Flying Machine do it? Flying Machine trying to. Oh, it doesn't quite, just barely. Wallace does get ahead. That Flying Machine almost stole the game for Bansito. Instead, Wallace able to survive by 73 HP. What looked like it was going to be a total blowout there at the end ended up being crazy, crazy close for Wallace. Much too close for comfort, but in the end, what matters? It's getting the win, and Wallace did that. This has been a fun day today. I'm glad I wish Eric a quick recovery, but I'm glad I got to come in and cast this today. It's been so fun so far. These games have been absolutely great. So there you go, the lineup of today's matches. And we'll pop back out here for a second. Let's see. Take a look at the chat here for a minute. How's Slayton Jr.'s alphabet coming along? He's killer at it now, buddy. Thank you very much. He's 3 years old. What? That's pretty crazy. Hoa, I think Bansito's going to win here. Mega Knight versus Pigs is brutal. Yes, but the mortar and not having anything to deal with the mortar ended up being a big factor here. James Gonzalez. I had a question about why are you so passionate about calling the loser bracket the lower bracket? Because they're not losers. That's basically it. It's bad marketing. Right? To call the lower bracket or the elimination bracket the loser's bracket is a terrible marketing choice, right? When you're saying like, hey, what do you want to watch today? I don't know, let's watch the loser's bracket. It's bad branding, right? So I call it the lower bracket or elimination bracket because that's what it is. I like elimination bracket is my favorite way to say it, but loser's bracket just makes it like, I don't want to tune in to watch the loser's bracket. So there you go. That's the big reason why I always call it the lower or elimination bracket. This golden cannon is so cute with his dragon head. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see. Is E-Giant not viable now? It's certainly... People are still playing it, but it's certainly not as strong as it was. Piggy Buff did not buff the Mother Witch pigs because they're not the same kind of pigs. Let's see. That's why it's crucial to know your spell damage. It's always crucial. That would have been a heist if Bansito won, says Tesfaye. Yeah, that would have been certainly a steal. There's been a lot of big steals today. Missing King of the Hill in competitions. Yeah, King of the Hill is really fun to watch. I do like King of the Hill. I do like sweeps. But teams are gone and never coming back. So there you go. Makes sense, and here's the reason I couldn't agree more. Thank you very much, James. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's it's one of those things. I think the first person I saw make that point was Seth, Supercell Seth. And I was like, wow, that's a great point. And so I've been calling it elimination bracket or lower bracket. Elimination bracket's a better term, I think. Elimination bracket's exciting, right? Like, ooh, people might be eliminated. That's exciting. That's the best way to go. All right, here we go. xAlee versus Kodigo. And G-Breed, are you also James? Am I seeing you? I just explained this, but I think maybe you're both of those people. Kaiser Soze saying that Wallace deserved to lose that one with the Flying Machine Gun on the end. Yeah, maybe. Nobody's going to wear the King Killer title like Razor. Absolutely true. Razor certainly was a King Killer in those times. So xAlee going, wow, Bowler Loon, probably a freeze. Tesla to pull back here. And well defended by Kodigo. Queso or SK, says Sushant. Two of my favorite orgs in this game, for sure. I am casting the Queso Cup, so I feel like I should be saying Queso, right? I'm definitely close with both those orgs. I'm closer with SK than I am with Queso, I think. Just, you know, it's some of the players on Queso, like, you know, the language barrier. Even though like all of them do have some English or decent English, they were always speaking Spanish on set, and the Germans were always speaking English. But yeah, I have definitely a soft spot for both those squads. A lot of damage on the right-hand side here, delivered by Kodigo. This feels like it should be a slobber knocker of a matchup, right? It feels like they should both be landing big blows in both directions. But the Mega Minion plus Tesla feels like it really should shut down almost all of these balloon pushes with any meaningful measurement. Voden asking, why all is so slow? What's so slow? I don't know what you mean. Kaiser saying there's seriously no way that that first push would have gone back to his Tesla. And I understand that feeling. Kodigo with a pretty solid lead here, and it's going to stay that way, I think. The defenses here are actually kind of hard for Ali. Like, he's going to give up, we already saw, he's going to give up a lot of damage with every time that there's a good graveyard push. He has to pressure enough that there can't be any more good graveyard pushes. And then as this gets into double and then triple, going to keep being more opportunities for him to land a killing blow. But Kodigo just content to continue with what he's doing. Sluggish calling this 100-0 for Kodigo. And, you know, when you're evaluating a matchup as being played perfectly, then you can talk about something being 100-0. But against Bowler Loon Freeze, it just takes one mistake in triple, and you get caught. This is a big defensive load up here. A lot of damage. And now going to be a decent bit of a counter push here, and that Lumberjack's going to go down maybe a little bit earlier than Ali would have liked. Nice little lineup here. Going to get some extra damage out of that bowler. Ali going to try to control this push. Going to throw a Lumberjack in the back when he gets it. There we go. Lumberjack does come down for the Skellies. If Ali can limit this to not being within spell range. It's too low. Too low. Oh, boy. And that's GG. GG. Sluggish Crow, Poison completely shuts down Balloon. Yeah. It's hard to remember that now that that big change at the slow. Kodigo gets game number 1 here. Very, very well done. I need to set this thing up for that other screen here because I have the music situation back and forth. I'll get it set up. GG, well played. Let's see. First Balloon deck of the day. Always excited to see Balloon. Yeah, Balloon is one of the most exciting win conditions for sure. One of the most frightening cards when you see it. I actually made a video a long time ago of the 5 most, like, I think it was the most, like, frightening cards or most exciting cards in the game. And Balloon was certainly on that because it is certainly exciting, certainly frightening. This nostalgia about this game is just, I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean there, but, you know, do you, sir? Akil saying, hey, Rich. Hello to Akil. How are you? Let me take a look at the actual schedule and see where we are. Because we are currently on Kodigo. They're kind of jumping around the schedule a whole bunch. We are on Kodigo versus Ali, which is meant to be pretty low, pretty far along in the schedule. We haven't seen Pedro play today, have we? He's supposed to be playing a couple matches today. Have not seen him yet. So I'm keeping an eye on the... oh, yeah. Actually, someone's actually asking the League Ops already about Pedro. So have not seen Pedro yet. We'll see if he actually does show up today. And if he doesn't, that's going to shorten the day significantly. Yeah, he's supposed to have 2 matches today, I think. We have not seen them yet. Has a lava deck ever been used? Yeah, we've seen lava today, I think a couple of times. I don't know how many matches are left. Let me go ahead and ask. And see what they say. Let's see. I miss Ta and Javi. Ta's a strange one. Ta had one good performance that was matchup based. I don't expect Ta to qualify for Worlds. He could prove me wrong. I don't expect him to make it through the last chance qualifier. He this might sound harsh, but he did not play well at the monthly final that he won. He just had like a ton of like 80-20 or better matchups. But he misplayed a ton at the CRL monthly final he won. So we'll see. But I do not expect Ta to make it through the monthly qualifier. How many miniatures are in my collection? Well, there's 4 there on the wall. And I have a bunch of other like random stuff. Actually, there's 5. I have a mini P.E.K.K.A, the Golden Princess, the Hog Rider, the Baby Dragon, and a Golden Mega Knight. There's some other stuff here too. Wow. And Kodigo just getting slaughtered here. And xAlee has plenty of elixir, so he should be able to defend this. Hunter playing some defense. I mean, Kodigo just spamming the bridge now. Maybe thinking there's less elixir than there is. Bandit will get some damage. Heal Spirit comes in. That's a huge Heal Spirit. Heal Spirit gets all the way in, and xAlee really can't believe that. He thought he was way ahead here. He thought he totally had that, and didn't. Wow. We'll see if this is actually a clone deck here from xAlee. But Kodigo, man, way to come back there. It really looked like xAlee would have enough to defend. But the Heal Spirit was the big winner there. And Kaiser making a point here. Doesn't say much for the game if someone kind of lucked their way to a monthly final win. I disagree, because look at how rarely that's happened. Like, if you look at the monthly final winners and look at what the final rankings are in CRL, like, everyone in the top 24, the top 24 players are pretty close to the top 24 players in the world. I think the CRL format, for better or for worse, has proven itself accurate in getting us the best players on the planet. You know, some players had some bad luck, some players had some good luck, but that's the same in pretty much anything, right? So, yes, there's a whole any given Sunday thing. You know, a quarterback might wake up with a stomachache. You know, a goalkeeper might get distracted for a moment and just not be totally focused. A lot of things factor in. You know, a referee might make a really bad penalty call. Oh, man, this looks like it's going to be tower down here. Kodigo just cannot stop this giant clone push. And we're all tied up 1-1. So there you have it. So talking about that same idea, though, you know, there is a luck factor for sure to a certain degree. We're talking about matchups, but yeah, I think that if you look at the CRL standings, like, definitely they're pretty much, if you went and made like, hey, let me rank the top players in the world, just on like, if you got, let's say you got the top 50 players in the world to go rank the top 50 players in the world, or whatever it is, how you rank them. The CRL rankings are pretty accurate for what they are. So there you go. I think that CRL is proven as a format that finds the best players. Having favorable matchups, says Deshaun the Wraith, doesn't exactly mean luck, IMO as well. So there's also some of that, is that favorable matchups, you know, no one talks about Mohamed Light being lucky with his favorable matchups. He and Julesy work hard together on getting good matchups. So saying that Ta was lucky in his matchups is an unfair thing to say as well. But I don't think that Ta... Why am I so mean with Ta? I'm not mean with Ta. Being honest about evaluating someone's performance isn't the same thing as being mean. Ta is a better player than I am, and better player than most of the millions of players in the world. But I don't think that he's a top 24... I don't think he is a top 24 player in the world. Clearly he's not with his standing. And I don't think that... if you watched his play at the monthly final he won, he made a ton of mistakes but had such good matchups that he still was able to win. And that's a credit to Ta and working with Ta's analysis with his team to make good deck choices. But you know, you have to be honest and say, hey, do I think that he's a world-class player? I don't. I also don't think that most of the players, you know, there are only 10 or 20 people who I'd say are like world-class players, right? So, you know, it's one of those things like, and Austin Social making the point saying he beat Sandbox LOL. Yeah, I mean, I beat Vulcan in a game, right? But I also had a great matchup against Vulcan, right? So it's one of those things where anyone who's evaluating a player based on a single best of 3 or a single game is hard. That's hard to make that evaluation. And Austin making the point, he's still top 50. He's top 50 in the CRL standings because he got really great matchups and won that monthly final. If he didn't win that monthly final, he wouldn't be in the top 56. He wouldn't have made it into the last chance qualifier. So, you know, everyone can have their own opinions. But I think that if Todd doesn't get the matchups that he got in that monthly final, he's not in the top 56 for standings. But matchups are still an important part of the game. But he hasn't repeated anywhere near that success throughout the year. So, you know, people can say I'm being mean, but I think I'm making a pretty accurate assessment, and I think that most people who are assessing it honestly would probably have a similar opinion. And I'll tell you this, that the other casters like Eric and AC, they have the same opinion. But it is just an opinion. I do think that we'll see that we've noticed in these tournaments how much difference having not pre-submitted decks makes, right? So that's also a thing to keep in mind as time goes forward into 2022, where maybe we'll see a change. Who knows? So Kodigo going Hoggy Q final game. And GY for Ali. Valk sets the line high. Skeletons on defense. Log to clean up. That's going to be advantage Kodigo after that first exchange. Well played out from Ali. And that's one of the weird things about this this matchup, right? Is that you have to set the line in order to keep the tanks from crossing the bridge. And also Valkyrie is maybe your best option on defense. Right? You can Skelly, but they'll get snowballed off. And then you can Log to clean up, but you'll take some damage. We'll see how much Kodigo uses EQs defensively against this graveyard. $1861 on the right-hand side. Poison to clear off the bomb tower. And now Ali trying to play into the same lane as the Hog, looking for defenses and then counter pushes. And now, interesting, high pressure here out of Kodigo with the Valk. Hog Rider will not get damage. And now a big counter push out of Ali. Bomb tower trying to hold, but tank does get across the bridge. Gonna have to EQ defensively. And you do see the value of Earthquake defensively against Graveyard. Kodigo maybe went a half second early with that, but still avoided most of the damage. 13-0 the number for Ali. Kodigo in the lead as we go into sudden death overtime. Hog Rider in on the left-hand side. EQ a little bit early here. Hog will get one shot. Wow, huge shot in for Kodigo, and Ali can't believe it. Ali cannot believe it. And look at the chip damage play from Kodigo with the Firecracker. Kodigo's been doing a really good job in this game of varying up his offensive pushes. We've seen him go Hog by itself. We've seen him go Hog EQ. We've seen him go Hog Valk, and now Hog Firecracker. And that Firecracker is proving to be an absolute menace here. But the extra little chip he got there was really, really valuable. Now he might actually Valk on defense into this graveyard. And yes, the Valk comes in. Snowball doesn't touch it. And notice the high Valk play. That was to pick up the Mega Minion if it did actually get towards tower. It didn't end up happening. And the well play, the good game coming out by Ali, knows it's over. GG. Making a pretty good push here, but not going to get much out of it. GG. Well played. Kodigo wins this one in game number 3. And that was, for those of you who are trying to play Hog EQ, Kodigo just showed you a lot of basic principles, a lot of major principles to use with Hog EQ. We talk about varying defenses, right? We talk about doing something different on defense so they can't predict it and crush your defense. You don't talk as much about varying offenses, right? You talk about it a lot with minor, going to different minor placements. But you saw Kodigo, Hog by itself, Hog EQ push, Hog behind the Valkyrie. We saw him go with Hog, the Firecracker first, then the Hog to get in front of it and get the Firecracker chip. That was some really, really excellent Hog EQ play out of Kodigo. Very, very smart stuff. A lot of fun to watch. GG, well played. So let me see how many matches. I'm going to ask how many matches left here. And is Pedro showing up? Asking League Ops here to give us a little bit of insight on what we're seeing today. Papa Maruli asks, we love your red glasses with the blue lens in the back. Can you wear it for us? They're up the blue. Those are actually not red. Those are pink. It might just be the color correction here. But you know what? Yeah, check these out. They do look kind of red, but they're actually pink. These are called Flamingos on a Booze Cruise, actually. I think is the name for these ones. Yep, that's correct. And you know what? Maybe we'll go for those ones. Here, let's take a look first at the overall match list. And yes, Pedro is in a play now, so we are going to get Pedro in here today, which will be pretty cool. Kodigo showing up rock solid, says one. Rich, can you arrange a BO5 or BO3 between Morton and Molite on your channel? Depends on if Morton's available, right? Morton might not be available. He's often not available. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and put these grays back here on the tower. Look at that. And now we got the real pop of color here. You still have the pizza shades you rocked at Worlds last year. I bought them too. It's something in my life. Yeah, the pizzas are actually right there. There's the pizzas. But I can't find my ice creams. My ice creams have gone missing. So hopefully I can find those pretty soon. So we should have Pedro here in just a minute. And find out how many matches we have left. John Ketchum, how late am I? You're pretty late. We're pretty deep into it. But still having fun. I got my old lady, the Rolling Stones gooders. Oh, there you go. They're pretty fun. If you are getting gooders, if you do like sunglasses, you are getting them. If you want to support me, you can go ahead and use my link. Is Stream Deck going to work today? No, I've been going back and forth with the Elgato, customer support, trying to get the Stream Deck fixed, but it has not been fixing. So there you go. Boom. There's the. If you like gooders, you want to get some. There's a link. I don't get a cut of it, but it does help support my relationship with them. If you buy through that link and they go, oh yeah, look, Rich is getting people to buy gooders. So there's the link right there. All right, so Pedro, currently 2-3, has 2 matches today, so a couple of wins could put him back up in the top 6. We'll see if he can make it happen. Pedro was at one time one of the top players out of Latin America. Spent some time playing for CRL in CRL Asia as part of Kick's team alongside IMJP. Did I miss some? Were there some missed arrows? King Tower activation here for Lord Kass, but a lot of damage in either way. There are going to be 5 matches after this one, so we are in our we're in 1 of 6 remaining matches right now. So Mega Knight and Cage, nice against the Hogs. We'll see if Pedro can find a way to get around those. Right now, does have the lead by about 200 HP. Pedro was tied to so many teams in CRL, including, for a time, Energy. When Chief J was the coach of Energy, he signed both Pedro and who was the other Venezuelan that it was another Venezuelan I believe he signed. my brain's breaking here for a second on who that was. I can picture his face, but not his name for some reason. But because of the difficulty of getting passports and getting transport, getting from Venezuela here, that's part of why Energy had to go out and get Thunderstruck to fill out their lineup, because it was Pedro, and someone in the chat has to know who the other person was. Another really, at the time, top player out of Latin America, who just, they could not get into the country. Pigs to the left-hand side. Mega Knight does come out. The EQ was trying to get the cage, but couldn't. No cage came. It was Lich Pentakill, that's right. Thank you, KFP, with the big assist there. So Energy was supposed to have Pedro and Lich Pentakill. In fact, in his first game, Thunderstruck wore Pedro's, I believe it was Pedro's jersey. He wore one of their jerseys in his first game for Energy. And they weren't able to make it. And that's how we got the Scotsman. Hunter trying to defend here. Going to give up a lot of damage, actually. Ewiz, though, working on that left-hand side for Lord Kass. But the lead right now does go to Pedro. EQ cycling in, and 855 to 863. As soon as the Mega Knight comes down, opposite side, but there's no Earthquake. Some pigs will escape, though. 3 pigs escape. Mega Knight not there. The Knight working low for defense against the Graveyard. Pedro would have loved to have that opposite. The Knight against the MK and the Hunter against the GY. Because Hunter can actually defend Graveyard fairly well if you play it on the low inside corner, kind of just a little bit below where that cannon card is right now. He would have loved to control it the opposite way, but ended up as it did. Graveyard in, Mega Knight being stopped up high, and now Spears low, but arrows well clear. That's a lot of damage here. If Pedro can survive this, he gets one more real shot at trying to take this down. But that's not going to happen. Poison gets it done. Lord Kass takes game number 1 here against Pedro. GG. Well, oh, the music. Let's get some music on here. Well, I think we burned everyone out on chat after the Ta debate. People, everyone went wild during the Ta debate, and has gotten very quiet since then. Did we make it sad here with the Ta debate? He'll be in. He has a chance in the LCQ. We'll see if he actually can get through. A lot of people are going to be really stressed out. That last chance qualifier is going to be really hard. That's going to be really, really hard. All those players playing for just 8 spots, right? The top 24 auto-qual to World Finals, and then the remaining players have to play for those last 8 spots to make the top 32 out. So that last chance qualifier is going to be stressful for everybody in it, and I don't envy any of them. But I'll be casting it all alongside the rest of my team. It'll be fun. Gareth Tompkins, what's up, Rich? What up, Rich? Good. What up, Gareth Tompkins? Good to see you. Oh, you look so gorgeous with the red or something glasses. Remember my first max card? I think my first max card was Bowler, because I used to play Bowler Expo. I used to play Bowler Bow Miner was my when I was a casual. Bowler Bow Miner was my deck. It was really bad. Acidic Meat with the Prime sub over on Twitch. Thank you so much, Acidic Meat, for your Twitch Prime sub. If you guys have Twitch Prime, if you guys have Amazon Prime, you can get a free sub to somebody. And please, use it on someone. If you use it on me, great. Just use it on somebody if you do have Amazon Prime. And Beast with a Tier 1 gifted sub goes to Ryan Sharp. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. I really do appreciate that. That's super, super cool. Hey, Richard means in a 6-hand deck with no spell, I use Miner as my spell and my Nutty. That's what I used to do. I used to use, that's like that Expo Bowler Miner. I used Miner as my direct damage spell, as opposed, for that purpose rather than actual big spell. Rich trying to make it a thing that's pyramid ladder. Yeah, it's not. I'm not trying to make a thing. It's a thing. It's a deck I played back in 2018. So there you go. Hippie1 Kenobi with the great suggestion. Don't forget that you can use code RICH in all Supercell games. So whether you're playing Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars, whatever, you can use code RICH and support me. And if you, even if you don't put in my code, put in someone's code. Acidic Meat just ordered the professional respawner and buzzed on the tower. Thanks for showing me gooder. Oh, that's super cool. That's super duper cool. Pigs in on the left-hand side, Cage to defend. Pedro playing Bomber, which, interesting to see Bomber. Not really super meta now after the nerf. And Pedro trying to NATO the Valk to get tower damage. And didn't you get the feeling watching this that Pedro is not really playing a ton. There are some you know, I don't know what how much Pedro's playing these days. I haven't seen him in CRL really. But certainly not like totally dialed in with some of those moves. Stephen Young saying, I think we need a live-action Clash Royale movie. Or an animated one. An animated CR movie would be really cool. Oh, look at the Inferno Dragon burn. Look at that burn. Lord Kass just letting that Inferno Dragon do whatever it wanted. Lord Kass had this game completely shut down and just let that Inferno Dragon sit there and sizzle forever. That was a total miscalculation by Lord Kass. And now a game that was completely in his favor has shifted drastically. Lightning in. I don't think this E-Giant gets close enough to zap that tower. NATO to pull all that together. Dark Prince gets turned around. Pigs opposite direction. High with the cage, but EQ does get it. And these Piggies plus log should be enough. Oh, 16 HP. My word. Lightning will finish this thing. And you can't block. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Are you kidding me? 16 HP. Are you kidding me? What a ridiculous finish. It really, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It really felt like Kass had that one. And then that sizzle from the Inferno Dragon. Let me just let that Inferno Dragon just sit there forever. Was he out of Elixir and I just read that wrong? It really felt like he was totally had it locked down, though. Craziness. Absolute craziness. People saying Pedro wasted that NATO. A lot of wows here for that finish. A lot of people with the wows there on that finish. Sizzling like fajitas, says Charlie Gore. What's up there, C. Gore? Man, that was just craziness. And I don't understand. I mean, I'd have to go back and watch it from a replay standpoint. I just don't understand how you let that dragon sit there and sizzle for so long. He had no counter in hand, but he played the spear goblins. Sluggish Crow saying he had no counter in hand. He played the spears like right after it. I'd have to go back and watch the replay, but I think the spears could have been played. I feel like that was a long time. I have to go back and see what that ending was. I feel like he could have put the spears down and gotten that off at least a half second earlier, which would have saved a couple hundred HP, which in this game means the win. Rich Country, your favorite deck. Right now, Magic Archer, NATO, and what's it called? Goblin Drill. Let's see. Where's your coffee today? Says Maligned. Already had some. So here we go. Game number 3. Different arena. This is interesting. Pedro versus Kass. Lord Kass looking like he might be going double spawner. Why did they massacre your Night Witch? Because she was too strong and she was super annoying in graveyard decks. Or in clone decks, I mean. Oh, maybe Pigs. No, did Kass already play Pigs? Kass already played Pigs. Shades of RG from Pedro. We'll see if that's the direction it actually goes. Kass might be just playing let's go. I want to see what he already played. That'll actually give me a lot more information here. Hermajest saying, literally me on ladder. One more log and I'll win. Loses by lightning. Yep. I feel you. So it is RG for Pedro. Minor interesting here for Kass. So it's a it's a minor P.E.K.K.A. Is there poison in this too? What an interesting choice. Gonna be weird against Mother Witch and Skellies. But of course, P.E.K.K.A. nice against RG, obviously. This feels more like a snipe than anything else we've seen in this matchup. Wow, and the fireball for the Mother Witch. Pedro decides to switch sides, and he'll get some decent damage here because P.E.K.K.A. not available. And that's a bad... Man, that whole sequence went really poorly for Kass. Pedro with a great RG push, fireball the Zappies. Not enough elixir for P.E.K.K.A. So Lord Kass plays the Goblin Hut. And of course that Goblin Hut gets shredded and still allows damage. Man, that whole sequence was great for Pedro and awful for Kass. And then he cycles P.E.K.K.A. in the back, too. Is he just trying to build up for a big push? I do not understand the P.E.K.K.A. cycle in the back here. He's going to protect this Fisherman with Skellies. There he goes. Yeah, Pedro played that nicely. This is just a really strange turn of events. Lord Kass totally had game number 2 in hand, throws game 2, and then just gets caught flat-footed, takes a big blow to the chin, and Pedro with a nice comeback, taking advantage of maybe the nerves of Lord Kass. Whatever it might be. Huge, huge turnaround for ex-Pedro. Really crazy. Kass had a bad offense and a good defense and let Pedro take a tower. Yep. But he didn't have a good, like, that defense was, like, I don't get why he cycled P.E.K.K.A. Like, at that point, once that RG, so you already had the RG deep in territory. I guess you're trying to prevent it from doing more damage with that, with the Goblin Hut, but that Goblin Hut was just free. That was free elixir to give away. That just went crazy. The cycling P.E.K.K.A. was strange. The Goblin Hut at the bridge was... I know he was trying to do there, but... You know, sometimes you can't just feed your opponent, which is what we saw happen there. He just totally fed. He was just like, here, take it, take all the elixir. Again, better than me, but that was a rough one. Testface, and I thought Pedro sniped in game 2 with Dark Prince, Bomber, Cage, NATO to activate King. Yeah, maybe. But still, Testface, that should have been the win for Kass in game number 2. And Inferno Dragon lock on. We're talking about over here. Inferno Dragon locking outside of zap range. As an OG Golem, I definitely played it. It felt dirty every time. Oh, talking about Golem clone. Yeah, Golem clone. Oof. That's how I start to tilt. Lose a close one and let it get to me. Yeah, I understand that feeling entirely, Beast. I've been there. Here we go. Next up, it's going to be Lucas and Lauta. I'm asking for the order of the remaining matches. Let me go ahead and try to get the order for remaining matches so we can get predictions in a more timely fashion. And Lucas just keeping that RG out of place. Okay, so the remaining matches, we are currently on Lucas versus Lauta. I'm getting the actual schedule from the League Ops here in a minute. How can we take part in this type of competition? Asked Nepal CR PlayStation. Well, there's a lot of open qualifiers for these. Not anymore for this specific edition. Lucas sets up Electro Giant in the back on the right-hand side, but the pressure on the left-hand side coming from the Furnace. And Lauta to prevent there with the... Ooh, and this is a nice Fish Boy. Going to get some good RG damage on that left-hand side. Fisherman will not be able to pick up the E-Giant, though. So this is actually going to be pretty big here. And look at the NATO from Lucas. Rather than have the full brunt of the Hunter attacking the Electro Giant, he pulls it away for Ice Whiz range. That was really, really nice. Great, great play from Lucas there. Nate, did I get a new personal best last season? I got 66.06 last season. New PB. 66.06, which feels pretty good. Will I ever hit it again? Probably not, but we'll see. Good fireball value there out of Lauta. Lucas not getting any sort of prediction on the Fish Boy this time around. And E-Giant will not get damage on tower. 773 left. Lucas certainly is in control of the game right now. Has the elixir and damage lead as we go into sudden death overtime. Thus the question is, can he prevent, how much of this giant damage can he stop? Great Electro Spirit and Fisherman combo. But the Ice Whiz, Prince, and Furnace will still be enough to shut down that RG push. A little overspend there with the Hunter on the right-hand side. Fishboy took care of business, but now Lauta does double down in that right-hand lane. Going to get 2 shots from the RG, I believe. No, the slow holds it down to 1. 1446 to 773. This is not the lane that Lauta wants to play into, though. And there he goes to the opposite lane. Might fireball for the Baby Dragon and the... No, decides to hold. Decides to hold instead because he wants to make sure he has enough elixir to control that Baby Dragon. As the Hunter comes down to that side, 1364 left-hand lane. Lauta just not able to break through now against Ice Whiz, Prince, NATO, and Furnace. RG down one more time. And notice that we haven't seen fireball action from Lauta on the Ice Whiz. Luke has been changing the position of it a lot, which has been nice for him. Final 40 seconds. Triple elixir flowing. Ice Whiz down again. Maybe he fireballs this Ice Whiz, but he doesn't really want to. He fireballs. He has to really believe he's going to get the damage lead from that fireball, because he has to be able to recover defensively as well. Lightning in. Lucas just lightning cycling now. RG goes to the right-hand side for Lauta, but this seems like there's just no chance. RG going to get 1 shot, but not going to get 2 because of the Ice Whiz. And that's it. GG, well played. Lauta calls it out. He knows it's over. Trying to full send. Has no way to try to go for a block. And that's it. Game number 1 going to Lucas. Very nicely done for Lucas. Let's see. Nate ran into a wall at 64.99, then tilted. Oh, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. I had a feeling in the season before the last one, I set a new PB for that season and a new best finish. Right, I finished 6.3 for the first time, and I had a feeling when I finished there, I was like, oh, I can push higher than this. I just didn't want to risk getting that new personal best finish. So but I knew that the next season I could go even higher, and I had my game plan was, if I ever lose 2 in a row, walk away. That was my game plan for this last season, and I stuck to it really hard. If I lost 2 in a row, I walked every single time. If I lost one, I took my time before resetting, and it worked out. I ended up getting 6.6. It was really cool. I honestly feel like I could have pushed higher than 6.6, but when I hit 6.6, I was like, let me not risk this, right? I feel like I could have gotten a 6.7, maybe even 6.8, but I just didn't want to risk that 6.6. I knew I felt nervous about that, so I decided to not keep pushing. And then they killed Skill Drill, says Her Majesty. Oh, Her Majesty, there we go, and Rip the Dream. Now I get it, Her Majesty. Wow, I thought it was Her Majesty. I said Her Majesty earlier. Her Majesty. Oh, that's great. Franz Kahn, personal at best 7.8. Woo! Well, that's pretty fire. Let's go ahead. Game number 2, Lucas, with the match in hand. How long do you wait before playing after you lose 2? I just like, so here's the thing is I don't like sit and do lots of like grind sessions when I play. You know, I play in spurts. So I'll be like, hey, you know, I'm going to play until I lose 2. And then I'll stop playing for a while. And I'll come back later and keep playing. Good protection for the Magic Archer here out of Lauta. And that's a big thing about playing any Magic Archer-based deck, is learning how and when to protect that Magic Archer well. And right now, Lauta getting a great counter push. That miner has to come out super late. And this is a matchup that I think is actually kind of hard for Lauta if Lucas can get in rhythm. But Lauta doing a great job not letting Lucas doing that here. Yeah, Tesfa. Yeah, I wanted to finish at 6.6. That's what it was. Yeah, it's my PBA. I wanted the 6.6 finish. I wanted that on my profile, et cetera, et cetera. Kaiser saying I find it hard to stop after I lose. I know the feeling, but I was really disciplined because I knew I could push to 6.6 that season. I was really disciplined in making sure and like, you know, I think there was a couple times where I like in the 6.5K range, if I lost one that was really like tilting or I lost 2, I just stopped playing. And I went and I walked away. I know I came back to it later. And ended up with that 6606. Ooh, there we go. GG. In fact, when I hit 6.6, there were still like 2 or 3 days left in the season. And I logged out of my account and logged into my mini. There was like between 2 and 4 days left, actually. I just completely logged out of my account to make sure I didn't accidentally play. Magic Archer down in the middle. This is not. I honestly think that this matchup. I could be wrong. I think this matchup is for Lucas. And those arrows could be huge. Oh boy. And yeah. Look just like that. Just like that. Lucas is right back in this. Needs a little bit more pressure here on the left. Some of the doesn't quite get down, so he's gonna have to spend arrows here, or a miner. He might spend arrows here just to be safe. But just like that, Lucas is going to be back in the game. He's going to be down on Elixir. And Lauta, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's trying to force the expenditure of the arrows. So Lucas is going to be down on Elixir, but with still the matchup advantage. Needs to protect all of this in front. But Lauta too low on Elixir to protect any of that. Wow, absolutely. This is craziness. Lucas had a good matchup here, and it looked like Lauta was going to overcome it with the high pressure early. And a complete shift, a complete turnaround, and now with 90 seconds left, Lucas in the driver's seat. And Mega Knight does come down here at this late juncture to protect the Magic Archer and the Mother Witch, but now that Mega Knight going to be just shredded by the Inferno Dragon. And he's not going to spend a snowball on it, is he? No, he's not. This is just absolutely devastating for Lauta. Putting a lot of pressure here at the bridge. Magic Archer will get some good shots in. Did not quite get the protection down in time for the Magic Archer. And now trying to get in deep is Lucas, just to make sure he can't build up there again at the bottom. Pigs in the pocket. Cage there is ready in time. Heal Spirit to keep the pigs alive, though. Pigs trying to get on tower. No NATO here, so we can't create Magic Archer lineups. Oh, my word. Damage in. Pigs all over the tower. Final 22 seconds. Magic Archer getting piercing damage. Lauta firing back here, making his case in the final moments. 2:21. No big spell here for Lauta. Keep that in mind. Pigs going to the tower, arrows to stop them. No big spell for either player here. I don't think Lucas gets on tower. He's trying, not going to make it happen. Oh my word. What a crazy game that was. What an absolutely crazy game that was. Lauta had the big lead, then was dead in the water, and then got back in it and won the game. That was what a nutty back and forth that was, and now we're going to game 3. That was pure insanity. That was pure insanity and a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch, let me tell you. Whoo, games have been nuts today. Yeah, this has pretty much been the best day of games. This event has been great for gameplay. APAC was so much fun the other day. Yesterday morning, wow, that was just yesterday. APAC was so much fun yesterday, and the games today have been nutty. 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 Let me tell you. All right, let's look at some of the chat here for a minute as we're waiting for game number 3. Finished 6.5K with a level 12 tower 2.6 hog. You know, you can definitely outplay people with some 2.6. Her Majesty got to 6.5K, almost got to 6.5K, but didn't want to stop playing until I dropped it down to 5.6. Oh, that's killer. That's so crazy. The secret of not tilting is to realize that you're bad at the game and still learning. That's actually a pretty good way to describe to describe the best way to maintain yourself. Heal Spirit won that game. Yeah, that Heal Spirit was huge. That Heal Spirit was absolutely huge. Totally got that one. My favorite day was yesterday, says Her Majesty. The decks were super fun. Yeah, the decks were out there. But also a lot of players were preserving decks for CRL. So they didn't want to give up too much information in the new meta. Great adaptation there, says Desh the Wraith from Lauta as the game progressed. Taking a look at the YouTube side of things. A lot of people talking about their tilts from PBs and things like that. 1 game away from 7K and then hard countered and tilted. Yeah, that's brutal. We've all been there. PB is 7100, but tilted before the season end. Yeah, that's rough. Anyone to have tips on keeping track of cycle? Don't try to keep track of the entire cycle. Try to keep track of cards that are important in that moment, right? So like, if I'm having trouble breaking past something defensively, then I'm tracking that specifically. If I'm worried about a certain win condition, I'm keeping track of that specifically. Right, I might keep track of 1 or 2 cards in the cycle, but not all of them. That's how I keep track of cycle. But also, I think you have a higher PB than me, so, you know, do you. APAC yesterday decks were bananas, absolutely. Stephen Young saying, my wife says I watch Clash of Clans and watch football. Well, I'm glad. We're going to get my CR figures. They were all gifts from Supercell for various things. And Froz, yeah, I'll be clear about this one, just because I get this question a lot. For my friend link, I don't like being spectated, so I only add pros and real life friends for my friend link. So, sorry, but yeah, it's just it's a personal thing. There you go. Tracking only the important cards of an opponent is called flagging, says Stinger Esports. Never heard that term before. That's an interesting way to describe it. Will Giant Skelly decks ever be seen in World Cups? They have been. The Giant Skelly decks have been seen in some of the biggest competitions ever. It's not super meta right now. It was all over the place before it got nerfed. Beast says, my husband asks why I watch others play a game I play. I told him I'm trying to monetize my addiction. I like it. Magma's personal best, 85.71. That's insane. This is a weird staring contest here. This is a really weird staring contest. I was just checking to make sure no one repeated a card, and that was why we had a staring contest, but really weird staring contest here. So looking like RG from Lucas. And Loon from Lauta? I don't know the answer to this question about never playing regular Giant. Regular Giant isn't really popular isn't really good right now. So looking like it's going to be most likely Loon or GY for Lauta. I think Loon with the Electro Dragon. But this MKGY push from Lucas, and I totally wrong. Totally bad read from me. I mean, I see the Ice Spirit, the Fisherman, and the Hunter, and I'm thinking that's RG, but ends up being MK Graveyard. And now here comes the Loon with a pretty serious push in front of it. Snowball tries to push it back. And the E-Wiz comes out. Wow. This deck from Lucas is kind of nutty and doesn't even get the oops from Lauta. Doesn't even get the damage with that freeze in. And that's probably going to be enough to guarantee the... Oh, and the NATO attempt to activate King Tower. Okay. That's... I mean, you... Oh, look, I already called one game too early twice. Last game I called for Lauta and then called for Lucas. So far be it from me to say this game is over. But you are way behind on Elixir with two pretty serious misplays. Going to be difficult, let's put it that way, for Lauta to get back in this one now. But he has so much on the board. And Lucas is, again, so low on Elixir. This is craziness. Is this the craziest BO3 we've seen in this competition so far? In a competition of crazy matches, is this the craziest one? E-Wiz does not get on tower, goes full to the Inferno Dragon, and then gets shredded by the Lumberjack. Graveyard in on the right-hand side. Bowler distracted going high. Poison in. Graveyard doing some damage. And how did Lucas cycle Graveyard that fast? That's crazy. What? How did Lucas cycle Graveyard that fast? What just happened? I feel like Lucas just like, oh, we were in triple. But still, that deck didn't seem like it cycled that fast. That was crazy how quickly that Graveyard got back down again. That was insane. Is it just me that was insane how fast that Graveyard got down again? Am I the only one who's like, did he mirror Graveyard? That was nutty. All right, next match is going to be Samuel versus Pedro for the predictions. Next match is Samuel versus Pedro. So let's get that one in for predictions. That was nutty. Yeah, everyone's saying that was a little quick to me. That was fast. That was crazy. What the weird. I thought it was a visual bug, says Kaiser. Yeah, I guess he had Graveyard, then Snowball, then Poison, probably cycled his Ice Spirit, but that would still put him one card away. That was nutty. Predictions are in now to be Samuel versus Pedro. Looks like all the money's on Samuel. So prediction will end right after the match starts, says Madi. So if those of you guys doing predictions on Twitch, get them in now. Oh, and we're already into the match, so get your predictions in now. Lucas gets a 10% buff for having CMG in his name. Oh, Fishboy too. He cycled Fishboy. There you go. All right, prediction will end here in about 20 seconds. Pedro running Hog. Samuel running anything. So it was Poison, Snowball, Ice Spirit, and Fishy, says Master Minimaster. Still, that seems crazy. Still feels crazy. Hog EQ for Pedro. Maybe Lava here for Samuel. Good Valk to stop all the damage. Kind of surprised Samuel didn't go back to the back with Miner there. I guess he went to the inside corner, not to the outside corner. So did vary, did have their condition that he wasn't against NATO. Her Majesty saying, I spent all my points on Samuel. He better not mess up. Good point. And Samuel does lava up now into the Hog lane. The big question here is, what building is Pedro playing? Bomb Tower makes things very hard for him. Tesla makes things better. Inferno Tower, of course, would be the best option in this case. So Tesla delivery, that's pretty good here for Pedro in this matchup. So remaining matches for the day will be Kodigo versus Devick, Surgical TS versus Fram, and then Fram versus Samuel. Those will be our remaining matches. I don't know if they're all... I think they're all on stream. Tesla's still strong. despite the 5-second nerf. Not as devastating as before, but still, in general, a better option than Bomb Tower in most matchups. Good setup here by Samuel, but xAlee's to try to control. But delivery's now out of hand. He has to get back to another delivery to control this, and he does. So Pedro doing a good job of cycling back to deliveries. And that's a key in this matchup. Is really getting back to that delivery over and over again, not trying to focus too much on your hog play. So Archers, xAlee's high to control, Tesla down low. And this Valk is less about the miner and more about that Inferno Dragon. But Pedro's delivery work so far has been great. Really, really great. Now the EQ in. 11:60 remaining. This can also change. Triple Elixir can get really devastating here, although Pedro will be able to cycle to those Teslas like crazy. And now the arrows come out late in the game. Has not been arrowing the Archers at all. Has been going with Miner instead, trying to get some tankage in. But I just know the tank's not going to help that much with delivery. So now the arrows for the Archers start to come out. And expect to see more of that. EQ does come in. That's going to be one shot with the Hog. Gets the second shot, and that's huge. The second shot is absolutely massive here for Pedro. Second shot is absolutely huge. Can Samuel pull off the upset right here, pull off the big turnaround? Trying to stack behind the delivery, and he does stack a lot. Now Pedro trying to cycle Teslas. This is where Triple Elixir gets crazy, and that's the GG. Wow. Absolute wow. Samuel just put the pedal to the metal, and Pedro could not find a way to cycle log EQ. That was nutty. That was the big pressure there at the end from Samuel, right? Just trying to make sure that there was not enough time to get the spell cycle in. And that one slightly early delivery says Dash the Wraith. Yeah, well, that was the good. He had to play delivery there, and that was where Samuel played brilliantly. He had to play the delivery there to stop that from being a huge chunk of damage, and Samuel knew that he had to play it there, and then put a bunch of troops at the river so they would come in behind the delivery. That was great. That was really great. That was one of those ones that I think Pedro had to win that before triple, and he wasn't able to win it before triple. And man, the pressure was on. Or he had to put it within. He had to put it within like I'm going to EQ you done before triple, and he couldn't do it. So GG. Very well played by Samuel. It's why he's one of the best. It's why he's one of the best. Let's see. Somebody come back today says I got a name. It says that guy. Yep. Somebody come back today, missed the delivery. Now Samuel OP. Yeah, Pedro was doing pretty well. I don't know if I would say Pedro missed the delivery as much as he had to drop the delivery and then couldn't get it back around again in time. That's the thing about cycle decks, right? So you think about cycle decks, right? You're like, oh, you can always cycle, always do this thing. It's one of those things where in that triple elixir time, a lot of those cycle cards just get absorbed by big pushes, and you're also still trying to, you have to do so much so fast in triple with those cycle decks. So, yeah, that was rough for him. Here we go, game number 2. So it was Lava Miner, game number 1 for Samuel. Hog EQ for Pedro. Maybe Miner Wall Breakers for Pedro this game. But Log's already played, so probably not. We'll see if it's Lava for Pedro here. No, it's going to be maybe 6 Loon Miner. And Samuel maybe with a Graveyard variant. Looking more like that now. Could be Recruits Royal Hogs, but Miner's an interesting addition to that deck from Pedro. So it is GUI for Samuel. And that forced a lot of Elixir out. So it is Miner Wall Breakers. Interesting. It's a different variation. A much heavier Miner Wall Breaker variation of Pedro. Very interesting. You know, you see Log Tesla out, and you're thinking, hey, minor wall breakers, probably not. Three split on the 6-man. Chazmac with some CMG love in the chat. So Fireball's pretty huge in this matchup for Samuel. And just going to control here on the E-Barbs, and that Mega Minion is really nice. The Mega Minion Snowman combo. And that Zappy was absolutely huge for Pedro, as it really forced Samuel to spend a ton here. And the question is, how does he handle it? Goes with the 6-man high. Has to arrows onto the graveyard. Has a lot on the board here, but Fireball will take care of the right-hand side. And just like that, look at that timing from Pedro. Pedro goes, I know you're going to Fireball this, so watch this. And that's going to be a full wall breaker connection, plus a ton of E-Barbs damage. Great, great push by Pedro. Excellent recognition of what Samuel kind of had to do there. And just like that, Pedro back in the lead, 802 to 1730. That was really expertly done. That was the kind of Pedro that you want to see. Bomb tower high, cannon cart low, Fireball in. Not really sure what Pedro was going for with that Fireball specifically. Does stick the cannon cart low, and we'll get a little bit more zappy damage, though. This Fireball goes to the zappies. Wall breakers to play defense. Graveyard all over the tower. Graveyard doesn't get it done, but that 218 is very close. 218 very close indeed. And just going to have to eat the flying machine. Great call there from Samuel to eat the flying machine. That's what he had to do there. Fireball in, 269, and the good game being called by Pedro. Knows he can't win it now. Goes in with the flying machine. Flying machine does not get does get picked up, and that's a GG. What an interesting game that was. What a fascinating game of Clash Royale that was. Unbelievable. Fascinating game. Whole match was actually really, really interesting between. This has been one of the greatest days I've had casting, like in terms of actual the compelling gameplay from top to bottom. What a crazy day. All right, next up's going to be Kodigo versus Devick for the predictions. Yeah, it's been a good variety of decks, good variety of gameplay. It's been back and forth over and over again. This has been so much fun. And we still have a couple more left. We have Kodigo versus Devick, then Surge TS versus Framsito, and then Framsito versus Samuel. And Samuel's playing great. Tesfaye saying Pedro wasted the arrows. And Royal Holic saying bad placement of the zappies. Magma saying Pedro overcame with the fireball and the arrows. Yeah, maybe. That might be the case here. Kodigo versus Devick up next. This has been real fun. Let's see. Only needed one log EQ. He threw so hard. It says Awake CR. Oh, and that's the previous game. Should have saved the arrow, says Magma. Yep, well, is what it is. You know, it's Samuel's dialed in right now, preparing for Worlds. And Pedro having some moments today. Hey, here's the thing, is what we're seeing from Pedro is Pedro's still good. Pedro has moments, but like, it's that thing where are you doing it a lot right now or not doing a lot right now, right? And when you're doing it a lot, you're just in the rhythm, right? Like, so for me in stand-up, right? When I was doing stand-up 5 nights a week, like, there were certain things that just, like, clicked. You can tell when it's, like, when you're on fire. When I go back on stage now, I'm still good. I'm still funny, but I'm not the same, like, crispness that I was when I was doing it 5 nights a week, right? So same thing here. Like, Pedro's still good. Can still have some big moments. Probably still beats most people he plays against from, like, the regular world. But against a guy like Sam, just doesn't have this. Doesn't have like that je ne sais quoi that like really nails it down to that highest level. That's a big difference. What clan am I in? Fat Fingers 2.0. That's the answer. Fat Fingers 2.0. That's the family clan. Man. That was crazy. And a whole lot of fun. 3 more matches left. Hopefully we get to the next one pretty soon here. Want to keep the pace up so we can get going. And yeah, thanks for everyone sticking around. This has been a fun day, both on YouTube and Twitch. Good challenge. Good group overall. You should do TikTok stand-up. No. Stand-up comedy is a person and a microphone in a room with real people telling jokes, stories, whatever, people laugh. You know, that's stand-up. I don't do... TikTok isn't stand-up. You know, if I could put videos of my stand-up on TikTok, I guess, but... Yeah. No, I was planning to get back full into stand-up this fall when I came back from the summer. You know, vaccinated, all that stuff, and then, you know, Delta popped up, and that's, you know, giving me pause, especially here in Texas with how bad it is right now. All right, here we go. Devick and Kodigo. Yeah, rest in peace, the great Norm Macdonald, says Kevin C. Norm Macdonald, one of the all-time greats, and like unheralded. Like he's one of those people. Oh my gosh. Well, Devick goes full send on the left-hand side. I don't know if Kodigo gets a tower trade here. Arrows will certainly help, though. The high Tesla trying to stop the Inferno Dragon, and it will. And Kodigo can't stop the Mega Minion here, so that's actually going to be really great for Devick. Kodigo will have the Elixir advantage, but Devick here, smashing. And there you go. That's what should happen when you lava first play. That's what should happen. But back to Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald's one of those comics who makes audiences laugh, but made comics laugh even harder, and but still had pretty mainstream success. But also one of those guys who like was weirdly like had mainstream success, was on SNL, in a bunch of movies and stuff, but also like was just outside of being like a total household name, just like a name that people who loved comedy knew Norm Macdonald. But one of the most unique and hilarious voices of all time. And yeah, just go. There's so many great videos going around Twitter and YouTube of him right now, of like his appearances on Late Night and one of the most funny interviews ever. A really different sense of humor. And very, very funny guy. Yeah, Dirty Work, which I can't remember if he directed that. I think he directed that as well. Norm, absolutely amazing. Lava Hound into the right-hand side. Let's see if Kodigo has the magic here to battle back in this one. Arrow's certainly nice. And that poisoning, but that's a nice shutdown poison here from Devick. Nice shutdown poison. So Devick going to get the win here, it looks like, in game number 1. Trying to battle his way out of the relegation position. And getting game 1 here certainly helpful. GG, well played. So, yeah, again, definitely rest in peace to the great Norm Macdonald. Got a chance to meet him at the Comedy Store when I was working there. Very nice guy. Very funny. That's one of the great things about working there for so long, was meeting pretty much all the greats. Getting to watch them work, getting to talk shop. Very fun. I do miss being at the Comedy Store. I don't miss making my Comedy Store money, because I was a young struggling comic for a long time. But definitely was a great time my many years there. Chappelle in Prime was GOAT, says Roman Viking. Yeah, I mean, Chappelle's a different thing. Chappelle's a whole different thing, for sure. Yagit saying he's my favorite Weekend Update anger. Yeah, without doubt, without question, the best host of Weekend Update ever. There's no debate there, in my opinion. So there you go. NYR saying, hey, I have a question. Why is neither of them playing minor recruits? I don't know. Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart? No question to me, Dave Chappelle. I don't think that even is a question for, like, Kev's fine. Kev's great. Kev's someone else, not my thing, but people like him a lot. But if you're saying Dave or Kevin, Dave. For sure. As far as, like, purely on stand-up. Also on movies. Like, definitely stand-up, though, for sure. Box of Dems plan on being Turd Fergus over Halloween. Now I have to. Yeah, that's pretty good. John Ketchum saying, who's the most famous person you've met? That's a really hard question to answer. Depends on how you define that. But, you know, at the Comedy Store, pretty much everyone in comedy I met at least once. Some more than that. Some had some real conversations. So it depends on, like, I guess fame is relative. Mark Normand or Sam Morrill? Mark Normand is my answer to that question. Pigs to the left-hand side here for Devick, who does have the one-game advantage right now. Ever met Rogan at the Comedy Store? Yeah, many times. Talked with him a lot. I worked there for 4 years. Performed there for that whole run as well. I was on the same lineup as Rogan a few times. Yeah. I'm friends with a lot of the guys from, like, Rogan's crew. You know, Tony, Brian, all those guys. Mother Witch working on the left-hand side on defense. Clone. This is an interesting time to clone with that Mother Witch healthy and you're not putting any pressure on her. Interesting time from Kodigo for the clone there. Doesn't turn the opposite direction, but the clone just gets totally shut down. Gareth Tompkins asking Bill Burr or Dave. For me, man, that's a really hard one. I think Burr for me. But that's like such a crazy question. You're talking about two all-time greats. So Kodigo finally does get on tower here. Not much damage in the first 2 minutes. 23-46 to the left-hand side of the 22-55 on the right-hand side. Pigs now in. And Kodigo's going to take some damage here in order to give some damage. Right? He could have tried to play, like, really defend that. But instead decided to take some damage in order to set up a big push. The big issue here is he can't really do anything about the Mother Witch. And Devick trying to get back to her, not going to do it, though. And controls nicely. Devick's playing this really well. Umo asked, what do I think of Firkin? I actually picked, back in April, I made a video picking 5 wildcard picks for who would qualify for World Finals. All 5 of them have qualified, too. They're not even last chance qualifier, but all 5 of them are in the top 24, and that included Firkin. Firkin was like most of the picks there, if you look back, you're like, oh, those are pretty good. Those are really good picks. They weren't playing very well at the time, but most of them were really good picks. But Firkin was the one player that wasn't like already a really famous player who I picked to make CRL Worlds, and he did. Really talented player. I wish him the best. This is a really interesting matchup. 1454 to 1561. As it's hard, and here we go. Pigs to the right-hand side. And Cody going to try to spend as little as he can on this defense. He had to get that Baby Dragon down because the Skellies were going to get snowballed off. And now it's going to be advantage in that lane. Big hit on the right-hand side. Devick doing a great job pressuring. Kodigo trying to find some way to get that one big clone presence. He might need to clone on defense here to get it done. The snowball makes cloning on defense kind of frightening. But you might have to do some early clones and then cycle back to clone again to get anything done here. Now he sets up into the strong side. Of course, clone, if clone hits, you're not worried about strong side or weak side. 2 Skelly barrels in, heal spirit to defend, and now Cannon Cart pressures the opposite lane. Now trying to get all the way on. This is Clone City right here. Cannon Cart locks on tower. Skelly barrel does go down. Now the clone after it pops. What a great time clone. Wow. Kodigo played that brilliantly. Kodigo played that very, very well. The change in the timing of those clones was really, really great. and Kodigo ties things up. That was really great. Let's see. People talking about Jeff Dunham. Hey, here's a great thing about comedy, right? Is that comedy is subjective. So your favorite might be different than my favorite, and that's great. There are some people who think I'm hilarious, and some people who are like, I hate what you do. And that's the same for pretty much all comedians, right? So, you know, there are some people like Norm Macdonald, who was one of the all-time greats, but didn't do the type of comedy that everybody loved. But doesn't change that he's an all-time great, right? There's some people who are more broad, like Kevin Hart is much more broad in his comedy, and casts a wider net with what he does. Same thing with Jeff Dunham. But that's a great thing about comedy. It's different things for different people. That's why the Comedy Store was great, because you'd have so many different things in one night. Comedy Store shows would be like 16 comics starting at like 9 p.m., going until 2 a.m., each doing 15 minutes. And you'd see a bit of everything, right? There was a lineup I was on one night that was like, I think it was like Bobby Lee, Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Eleanor Kerrigan, who else was on that lineup that night? I have on my Instagram, there's actually a bunch of the old lineups that I was on posted. But like where you get through a whole night and it's like everyone's so different, and that's what that store is, like the best place in the world for comedy. People, I guess the Cellar in New York is supposed to be the other great place, but the Comedy Store is just a whole different ballgame, whole different thing. Let's see. What do I think about Kumail Nanjiani? I don't really know his stand-up very well, to be honest, but his TV work is pretty funny. Did I ever meet Mitch Hedberg at the store? No, Mitch passed away before I started stand-up. I started stand-up in March of 2008, and Mitch had already passed away before then. But, you know, a lot of people who are, you know, obviously Henry Phillips, who was close with Mitch, I saw often. Stanhope, hung out with him a number of times at the Comedy Store. Lynn Shawcroft, she was around the store on occasion. So I got to see a lot of those people. Very, very cool. I have some fun stories about some of those people. What's the store called? The Comedy Store in Hollywood. The Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard. I worked there. I worked as a door guy there for many years and as a comic for many years. And it was a whole lot of fun to be there. That'll help me go down as one of the cool, like from professionally, one of the coolest stages of my life was being a door guy at the store. Hippie Wan Kenobi mentioning Stephen Wright. Yeah, Stephen Wright was certainly an influence on Mitch. No questions there. Stephen Wright was in the Boston comedy scene, was actually the first. Boston had a very like harsh, aggressive comedy scene in the 80s and 90s, and Stephen Wright was unique there and was the guy out of Boston to really break out. Was the first big guy from Boston to break, even though he was so different for Boston comedy. So very different. Rich, what is the World Finals? No, the teams. There's no more teams in Clash Royale, guys, except for international, for Worlds or whatever, like international competitions. There's no more teams in Clash Royale. Let's just move on from teams, because there's no more of those. Do I do subscriber 1v1s? No, I don't. I don't play on stream. I'm a caster, not a player. All right, here we go. Game number 3, Devick and Kodigo. Next matchup is going to be Surg TS versus Framsito, by the way, for predictions. For those of you who are modding on Twitch. Surg TS versus Framsito is next. And by the way, for those of you watching, if you want to see some of my stand-up, one of my videos is, a lot of it isn't on YouTube anymore, but one of my videos is on my YouTube channel. So one of my favorite chunks of material that I ever did. So if you're watching on YouTube or you're on Twitch, want to go check it out on YouTube, you can go check it out there. Little like 9-minute video of one of my favorite chunks of material. Hoggy Q for Devick here in game 3. Just double checking to make sure he didn't repeat anything, and he didn't. Kodigo going with MK Graveyard. Asked if I've seen Bo Burnham stuff. I've never really gotten into Bo Burnham. You know, I'm a little. I mean, I'm sure it's very funny. It is, you know, it's a thing. But I just like a person and a mic. Kodigo sets up Mega Knight in the back. He's gonna sit on Fisherman best he can here. You can fully counter Hog with Fisherman once that King Tower is activated. Hard to do. you have to get it early, and he's late. And that's going to give 1 hog shot. Late and low with the placement there for Kodigo. I thought that was going to be 2 hog shots for a second. Kodigo needs to place that fisherman a little bit. I think it's 1 or 2 tiles higher. I think it has to be 5 from the top, from the bridge, or 5 from the river. And you have to get it like right when that hog drops. EQ on defense for the graveyard. And the poison here to hold the Valk. What a nice poison out of Kodigo. And that's a significant lead here at that 1063. And that's great for Kodigo. The Valk turns towards the Mega Knight, and that's enough to win the game and win the match. Nice work, Kodigo. GG, well played. Next up's going to be Surge TS versus Framsito for our for predictions. But man, that's going to feel rough for Devick. Devick really felt it seemed like he was in great shape. Won game number 1, just couldn't close. Couldn't turn around and close here. So rough outing. Rough outing for him. GG. And we're gonna get, I think we're gonna get standings here soon. Oh, my hair is crazy right now. I need this haircut so bad. I trimmed my beard today. That feels nice. I get this haircut taken care of. It is so long right now. So again, Surge TS versus Framsito is next. We can get those ones up. What was his last card? I don't remember. And let's see. Oh, Richard Iode and Dimitri Martin. I had a really weird interaction with Dimitri Martin once in an airport, talking about a thing of his that was released in Britain that I saw in the U.S. And I asked him some questions. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm a comic. I was curious about this material that you did, because it was like very American-centric material he did in Britain." And he was like, got annoyed because he was like, "That wasn't supposed to be seen in the U.S." And that was our weird interaction. He was like doing a corporate at like the Chipotle or something at the airport in Los Angeles. It was very strange. But, you know, just, I guess caught him at a weird moment. But Dimitri didn't really come around the store much. Not really his scene. You know, need a lot of stuff set up to do his thing, obviously. Here we go. Framsito versus Surge TS. And there's the standings right now. Samuel Bassotto currently undefeated, 6-0 in his match play. Wallace behind him at 5-1. Bansito at 5-2. Lucas, Framsito, and Miniminter all currently in that position to move on to the playoffs. But of course, we still have more round robin, more group stage to be played amongst these guys. But that's, if we stopped right now, that top 6 would go through to playoffs. Kodigo and Surge TS with winning records still chasing that top 6 right now. And this match against Framsito, a loss for Fram would put him at 3-2 and put Surge TS at 4-2, which I believe would move Surge TS above him. So this is a match to determine placement, at least for the time being. And you can see Devick still 0-6, devastating for him. Devick and Mao both in the Devick in the relegation spot, Mao in the play to avoid relegation spot. Surge with the Frank Dukes pose, says Ignatius, which is hilarious. I met the real Frank Dukes in Los Angeles. For those of you who are fans of the movie Bloodsport, he's known as a total charlatan in the martial arts community. But yeah, I met Frank Dukes. Very interesting to meet that guy. And Framsito certainly knows where his emotes are. Sluggish Crow asking, any female comedians you like? Yes, absolutely. Love Eleanor Kerrigan. She's super funny. Logan Gunselman, who's actually now a door guy at the store, I believe. She's really great. Jessica Michelle Singleton is Jessica Michelle Singleton is about to record her second album. Actually, they're recording it or releasing it right now. Jessica Michelle is really, really funny as well. Felicia Michaels is really great. I'm not into what Eliza Schlesinger does, but I totally respect her craft. I've seen her work. I was with a buddy of mine at the Punchline in Sacramento and saw her work through one of the hardest situations I've seen a comic have to work through and do it brilliantly. A friend of mine was opening for her, and I was in town for a comedy festival. So I went and watched, and it was definitely a really great performance. Really great workmanlike effort from Eliza in that situation. Whitney Cummings, I think, is funny. Ali Wong is a killer. Ali Wong is really great. Baby Cobra was a great special, and I've seen her work at the store a bunch. She's phenomenal. So, yeah. A lot of women comics that I think are really, really great. Hunter does a lot on the right-hand side. Fram with a pretty big lead here. You got to think about, like, how often is... The bomb tower Tesla decision is actually really hard. Hippie one asking, did I ever watch Last Comic Standing? Some. I mean, I knew a lot of the guys on Last Comic. That fan is, like... Josh Blue's a funny guy. Ralphie May, rest in peace, was a really, really great dude. I saw Ralphie once go to bat for my friend Jeremiah Watkins at the Comedy Store really, really hard. And loved it. Supported Young Comics a lot, Ralphie May. Dat fan, well, I'll go with the thumper rule from Bambi on Dat fan. Lead back to Surge TS now. Pigs into the right-hand side. Minor wall breakers push in for Framsito. Not able to hold the league right here is Surge, but he does have that EQ. This is 2.6 Royal Hogs, so we can get around really, really fast. The pigs touch a little bit, not quite enough to put it in danger zone yet, though. Delivery does get down in time. Surge TS has a pretty good rhythm here. Oh, and switching lanes right now is Framsito, putting the poison down as well. This is big, 178. The EQ will get there and finish it, I believe, and it does. GG, well played. Surge TS takes game number 1. Yeah, Josh Blue is very funny. Josh Blue is very, very funny. Oh yeah, Ralphie May passed many years ago. Very, very sad. You know, not entirely shocking given his health. But yeah, Ralphie May passed many years ago. Really, really, really nice guy. Really supportive of younger comics. And yeah, I'll you know, if I ever meet people in person, I can tell the Ralphie May story. But yeah, I saw Ralphie May like go to bat hard for Jeremiah at the store once, and it was really funny and very Ralphie what he did. But yeah, very, very good dude. Can I tell Fram to stop with his emotes? I can't. Fram can emote all he wants. There you go. They're in the game, and Fram can emote all he wants. That's how it works. Let's see. But yeah, I have many stories from stand-up that I will never tell on stream. But if once we're all able to be together in person, I'm happy to tell a lot of those stories. John Ketchum saying I'm low-key famous. Maybe I'm like on the G list. I'm not even on the D list, right? My dog is barking crazy at something. I don't know what. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog. Oh. Text from Mrs. Slayton. My hope is, let me put some music on. My hope is once things get a little bit better with COVID stuff, let's go into our game number 2 here. My hope is I actually have a ton of Clash Royale merch that like T-shirts and bags and a bunch of stuff just sitting in my garage that I got from Supercell to do giveaways with. I can't really ship it everywhere. But my plan is once we can do like in-person stuff, that I'll host some events in the Texas area and invite people can come and people will come and I'll give away a bunch of stuff and we'll hang out, play some Clash Royale, do some fun stuff. Next match, by the way, is going to be Framsito versus Samuel. So Samuel Bassotto versus Framsito is going to be the final match of the day after this one. So if Surge TS does win it here, we'll get that one going. Surge TS going, with the Bowler Loon Freeze here up against an interesting Sparky deck. Yeah, Fram versus Sam would be the final one. What kind of dog do I have? Asked John Ketchum. A cool one. I don't know. He's like about 25, 30 pounds. Real silly. I didn't go to a breeder or anything. Just got him, just rescued him, you know? That's kind of what you're supposed to do with dogs, I guess. Heal Spirit does not help. The E-Barbs doesn't matter, though. Defensive freeze, nice. Needed to happen there to save the tower. You should come to Arizona. I used to perform at the comedy at, not the comedy, what's that place called? Laughs Comedy Cafe in Tucson. I used to perform there regularly. You know, I used to do like once every 9 months or so, do a weekend there. And I've played a little bit in the Phoenix area. But my first ever stand-up set actually was in Tucson, Arizona. March of '08. Interesting Goblin Giant Sparky Rage deck. Yeah, Nishi is saying this is an interesting matchup. A lot of damage on the right-hand side, and that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this Bolarloon Freeze deck. Oh, but the E-Barbs escape. NATO to activate King Tower, and just barely saves that left-hand tower. Has to stop this Goblin Giant, and if he can, Surge TS will be in it, but he can't. So now he has to get that right-hand tower. I don't think he will. I think we're going to go to Game 3 here. And there goes the Rage on the King Tower, but that's it. That's a GG. You can freeze that all you want. This balloon not going to get there, and that's going to be game number 2 for Fram. We're going to Game 3 here. Man, Framsito's emote game has been a little bit toxic, gotta say. Just a tad. Just a tad. Let's see, looking at chat here for a second. A lot of people talking about the baby dragon. Yeah, baby dragons, they're in limited supply, guys, the baby dragons. Beast asked, what about Louisiana? I performed in New Orleans once. Can't remember who else was on that show. There was a comic I really, really like on that show. I can't remember what his name is now. It's been years. Mrs. Slate and I went to Louisiana for a vacation, and I mixed in some stand-up while I was there. But yeah, I performed in Louisiana one time. Maybe now that I'm closer to Louisiana, I'll perform there more. But I have to get back and doing more stand-up again. Man, it's interesting, though. Like, that was a 4 or 5 nights a week thing for me for 10 years. But then I got the CRL job, and my son was born in the same week, and shifted immediately away from doing as much stand-up. He said he's giving Serge TS dirt for trying to cancel him on Twitter. He tried to cancel him on Twitter. I don't know all the drama. Toxicity is exciting, and I have to say I agree. That's the one I've said. The one drawback of Clash Royale, which is one of the things that because Clash Royale is a game that does have matchup as a factor, where the better player is going to win most of the time, but on any given day in any given BO3. Pretty much anyone can beat anyone based on, hey, you get 2 good matchups, GG, right? It makes it hard to talk trash in this game the way you should, right? I wish that people could really talk trash in this game and, like, really swing after each other. I wish that could happen, but unfortunately, because players, like, you're a great player if you win 60% of your games, right? So because of that, you can't talk trash the same way consistently. You can't really, like, there aren't that many real villains and real heels and real faces in this game. Chad's by saying people might talk trash on Twitter, but still, they limit it, right? Oh, what's the name of the FPS guy who's like the biggest trash talker? Or is he a League guy? There's one guy who's like, in games where matchup matchup is way less dependent, you can just talk trash more. Hey, Porcelain Horsehead with 11 months of subbing on Twitch. Thank you so much. 11 months. That's crazy with the use code Rich. Porcelain, thank you so much. 11 months of subscription. That's really nutty. Thank you very much. Hey, Treeline, your VPN may be through you. Was it supposed to happen at 5:30? Well, no, this is the end of LATAM. NA is up next. There you go, Treeline. I'm doing NA. I'm filling in on Eric for NA today. Or for LATAM today, but NA is up next, which I'm not doing. DC the Boss in the building over on Twitch. GY both ways. You got to feel like the arrows give the advantage to Surge TS here. Just because of how much of a less of a commitment it is for him to clear off the archers than it is for Fran. Who's doing NA? I believe Cashman will be NA. Porcelain Horsehead support the Australian taco stand. That's the long-standing dream of Mrs. Slayton and I. But I think we're going to be in Texas for a very long time. 1490 to 1738 as we go to the final 35 seconds here. Dusk Braid asking when is my birthday? My birthday is in May. Oh, Graveyard just stacking. Graveyard just stacking. Maybe I had that. Maybe I called that wrong. Maybe I called that wrong. I thought that the arrows made this better for Surge than it did for Fram with the Fireball and the Snowball, but the Inferno Dragon proving kind of a menace here. He arrows off the archers, right? Oh, he fireballs the archers. Interesting. And look at this. Going to push right under that. Fireball not in cycle. This is it. Surge TS either wins this here or it's game over. Graveyard in. The arrows come in, Fireball does it, and Framsito hits a... I mean, I don't know what's going on with Framsito, but this dude is fiery lately. Fiery is Fram. GG, well played, takes the win here. Maintains his position in the top 6 and keeps Surge out for a little while longer. GG. The thanks hurt so much more, says Fight and Hide. Yeah, I feel you on that one. I certainly feel you on that one. Let's see. I'm trying to guess my actual specific birthday. Let's see. Tier Feeder. Trash Talk 100% makes the game more exciting. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Avram Roth saying, Richie, in a fast tonight? Yeah, after dinner. It's going to be a rough 24 hours, but got to do it. Fran played insane in the Bren Chonk up says on Ish. Yeah, he played very well there. I love Cashman, says Her Majesty. Always rocks the Tracy McGrady jersey. Yep, Cashman is great. I'm very glad. So people don't know, not everyone knows this, but Cash wasn't really doing a ton of casting for these events, and then they were looking for more people for NA, and I recommended him to Revel for these events, and he's come in, and now he's a part of it all the time, and it's really great. And since then, back then, I think Cash was like under 10K subs on YouTube, and he turned things around. I mean, like, he started doing the casting this stuff, and then started taking Twitch streaming more seriously, and then was like mastered TikTok and turned that into his YouTube channel, and now he's over 100K on YouTube. I mean, he might make 200K in the next, like, before the year's out with the way he's growing. So yeah, Cash is great. Big fan. Like him a lot. Good friend. Let's see. Lip Shiny and saying, am I Muslim? No, I'm Jewish. But yeah, salam to all my Muslim viewers. Much love all the way around. Let's see. Surge had matchup didn't play right, says Tariqul. Oh, Cashman YouTube Shorts got popular too. Yeah, I have one YouTube short that's like over 1.2 or 1.3 million. I should do more shorts. I'm always kind of bouncing around too much with things. But, here we are doing this. Let's see. I love the Guao. I don't know how to pronounce that. Guao in LATAM more than the WoW in NA. Not WoW in NA. Sure. It's pretty fun. Super Chiasmatic Nucleus saying shalom. Shalom to you too. Let's see. So our final match of the day is going to be Framsito versus Samuel. Twitch or YouTube. Cashman streams on Twitch and puts VODs on YouTube. I stream to both and then put VODs on YouTube. And here we go. Final match of the day. Samuel Bassotto versus Framsito. Lipshanan saying, love you, man, from Iran. Much love to Iran as well. Her Majesty saying, I sent him a Hebrew name. Now that I'm meaning of it, I love it. Go me. Oh, funny. What, Dove? Is that what you named your kid? Let's see. Oh, forgot predictions. Oh, no. Well, the last match was won by Framsito. Can I send a tweet that partly explains Fram's toxicity? I don't really have enough. I don't know enough about it to explain it. There's been a bunch of like trash talking back and forth from people. Yeah, Cashman uses TikTok to get his YouTube to blow up. Yeah, Cashman was great on TikTok. His YouTube and TikTok, Cashman's content. Oh, Fram going Expo. Fascinating. Against EQ. Against Pigs EQ. Yeah, good luck. Can we call GG now? Cashman makes really great casual content, which is always going to be more popular than like esports content. I make esports related content, so you know, I'll grow. My goal is 50K by the end of the year. We'll see what happens. I'm at 32 something now. Don't know the exact number I'm at, but I think I'm at 32 something right now. But yeah, Cashman does great content that's like really friendly and easy to access, and he nailed it on TikTok, just crushed it. And now he's big on YouTube, too. Maximilian, I thought Eric, EB7's Jewish, too, and AC. Eric, yes. AC, no. One second. So I've said this many times that I love watching Expo played, and I hate playing against Expo. But I do think it's really fun to watch. Good fireball there from Fram. Sets up Tesla early. Snowball cycle here for Samuel. Expo gets played so rarely at high-level competitive. I'm always curious when it does get played. And Samuel's just defending expertly. Of course, EQ versus Expo, always good. Opposite lane goes Fram, goes full Expo Tesla. And now Fram's just waving the white flag. He knows it's over. GG. And Samuel's going to go ahead and end it here. Not going to win that matchup. Not against Sam. GG, well played. We're potentially at our last game of the day. We will see if Samuel can close things out right here and end it up. And we'll see. Oh, you named your kid Levi. No, Levi, I think it means like joining or coming together. Levi is the name, of course, one of the ancient, the priestly tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. But yeah, no, does not mean light. Or means light in Hebrew. O-R, or not in Hebrew. That's not the Hebrew letters, but that's a transliteration. Let's see. Prediction is up. He says, I don't know what this is responding to. Oh, Cashman. He says like, hey, I made this deck. And you want to see how to play it? Check out my YouTube. That's how. Yeah. Cashman is like, hey, are people like, what's a good Arena 5 deck? And Cashman goes, hey, an Arena 5 deck. Look at this, and here's the deck. And then he makes it really fun. And then he goes, go to YouTube to watch the full gameplay for it. Let's see. Let me go back through some of this here. Alok saying, oh, to Madi, not to me. Okay, never mind. What's the strongest lava deck right now? Not entirely sure. Whoa! Chazmac just came through with 10 gifted subs on the stream. Chazmac Gaming, woo, making it rain. Chazmac coming in hard. So congrats to Money Mitch, Freeze, Panda, Akats, King Elijah, Jack, Anumadu, Anhadi, TJK, Scoop, 10 gifted subs. Chazmac Gaming coming through hot. Hot in the stream. Mwah! To Chazmac. Vikas Kumar saying, Rich, big fan. I think you get 60K plus subs this year. I feel like 50K is my stretch goal. I'll get 40 for sure. 50K feels like kind of a stretch, but I'm going for it. But 60K would be crazy. And Framsito going with a Barb Hut deck. And Bassotto, same just going like, what? E-Golem, says Chazmac. Yeah. E-Golem, what? Is Boss going to play in the Cup? I can't remember if Boss is in the NA region or not. I think Boss is playing in NA, but I can't remember. Wow. Stinky Cheese here. Whoa, Metalcore in the building. Guys, you can see Metalcore. If you guys play PUBG Mobile, follow Metalcore, who's a phenomenal PUBG Mobile content creator and player. If you're in mobile, you probably have tried it out at least. I'm actually playing some PUBG Mobile right now, trying to learn more about the game. It is harder than it looks, folks. Let me tell you. Lava Hound to the right-hand side. Final 90 seconds of regulation time. And Metal with the big love. No, don't follow me. Follow Rich. Aw, thank you, Metal. High level. Thanks to everyone for the support today. It's been a good one. Whoa! We've gone all day. We've gone all day with no studio crashes, and here in the final game, the final match of the day, we get a crash. The final match of the day, we get a crash. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. Here we go. Back in the game. Just joined the stream, says Matthew Williams. Is Queso Cup dual format as well? Yes, it is. All competitive Clash Royale pretty much is dual format now. Metalcore coming out with the hotness. And Metal's a sub? I didn't know you subbed, Metal. Oh, did Beast gift subs too? Is that what just happened? Oh, Beast came out with 5 Tier 1 subs. Oh, very cool. Beast, thank you so much. Huge. What a day today. What a day today. Metal just subbed and someone gifted 5 subs. Thank you, Metal, for subbing. Really appreciate that. That's crazy. And GG's to Beast for coming through hot. And GG's to Fram here, who I tell you right now, I do not feel sad seeing the Stinky Cheese deck lose. Samuel Bassotto, 7-0 in match play so far in the Latin American region. GG, well played. Let's go. What a game. What a game indeed. What a day. This has been an absolutely wild day of Clash Royale. I do hope that Eric gets better soon and his throat feels good, especially for this weekend. But definitely glad that I had the chance to step in here and cover for him today on what's been an amazing day of Clash. Like a really fun, some of the most fun gameplay we've seen in a while here. So huge. Absolutely huge. Let me go ahead and turn the music off. The number of close finishes, the back and forth matches, the unpredictability of it. This has certainly been, it hit different today. Let's put it that way. It hit different today for sure. So yeah, this has been great, and it's been great. Really good. Like, I love everyone on YouTube has been really cool today. Everyone on Twitch has been cool today. It's been a wonderful, like, generally non-toxic community that we've been building here, which also makes me very, very happy. So if you're watching on YouTube, big love to you there. Watching on Twitch, big love to you today. Huge with the gifted subs from Beast and from Chazmac. Metal coming in with a sub. I saw a lot of different subs today on Twitch. Let's go ahead and take one last look at the standings for the day. And here we go, our final look. This is not the end of the region. There's still more games to be played here in the Queso Cup Latin American region. But Samuel Bassotto, OP at 7-0 right now, getting himself in the groove for Clash Royale League World Finals this December. Wallace right behind him at 5-1. Bansito rounding out that top 3 in the medal position, the money-making position for this round at 5-2. Lucas, Framsito, and Miniminter currently in the playoff hunt. Of course, if they hold those positions, they go on to the playoffs, but they have to hold those positions. And Kodigo, Surge TS, and even Pedro all nipping at their heels right now, trying to get into those top 6 spots. Kodigo, Serge TS, and Pedro, followed by xAlee, Lauta, and Lord Kass. Those players all would still stay in the first division for the next split of the Queso Cup if they hold those places. But they are being chased by Mao and Devick, who need to do some strong work again. Devick currently in the relegation spot, and Mao has to do some work. Guys, this has been so much fun. North America will be on Cashman's channel in just a few minutes. I'm going to see if he's actually streaming. So if you're on Twitch, stick around as always. It's been so much fun, everybody. If you're on YouTube, oh, thank you, the Tree Line, for a $20, let me go ahead and put that on the stream right here. Tree Line coming out with the $20 super chat. Close out strong, great work. Thank you so much. If you're on YouTube, that's it for the day. This will be up on VOD in a few minutes. If you missed some of the matches, I'll get that ready for you. If you're on Twitch, stick around. We're going to go find someone to host. It might be Cashman if he's already streaming yet. I'll send you there. We'll do a big raid to Cash. And if not, we'll find some smaller, newer streamer and give them a big old raid and a whole lot of love as well. Thanks again to everyone for all the support and for being here. And I will see you guys next time. As always, be excellent to each other. Mwah. Later. All right, Twitch, hold on 1 second. We're going to go ahead and get the stream ended. And that's it for YouTube.